Wow, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. You may be confused. What is this new setup? So see, this is a talk show setup. Unfortunately, Neto and Vesper don't have like fellow live 3D models like I do. Not just yet. Maybe in the future they will. Who knows? Life works in mysterious ways. But for now, they're stuck as PNGs.
Yes, I only have my chibi model, and I don't think that would be.
Yeah, I don't think that will be fit. And Neto has a 3D model, which is really cool. But unfortunately, unless we do some sort of wizardry, there is no way for me to like. There is a way to do it, but it requires a lot of workarounds.
The wizardry was sticking me in a hydraulic press that compressed me down into this 2D image that you see currently.
Yeah, this is the best. This was the best option. But if we want her to move like with the 3D model that she has, we'd have to do some fucked up shit. Anyway.
I mean, I could show you how to do the fucked up shit, but it would suck.
It will suck and it will take a while. But that's the point of this stream is not things that suck and take a while. The point of this stream is actually about good music. It may also take a while, but it doesn't necessarily suck. Either way, welcome everybody. Let us introduce ourselves. I'll go first since I'm the host. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever time it is down there, wherever you're living. Hey there, boys, it's me, Demon, Doctor Carmen Leone, health musician turned VTuber because the kids don't sell their soul to the devil no more. And I'm here with my two friends, Vespertine, Valentine, and Internet Rain, and we're gonna be talking about music because we're a bunch of fucking nerds.
Alright then, I guess I'll go next. Hello everyone, tis me, tis I, your perpetually tired vampire, Vespertine Valentine. Here today, with the... I'm trying to make a comparison to musical artists, but nothing comes off of the top of my head who isn't an awful person. So, yeah. The Danny Brown and JPEG Mafia to my Denzel Curry. There we go.
Yeah, that works out.
Okay. I guess I'll go next. And last. Hi, I'm Internet Rain. I'm the hacker trapped inside your PC that's stealing all your CPU to make breakcore. I have no idea what I would be in comparison to the JPEG Mafia and Danny Brown thing and Denzel Curry. God, and I don't want to say the most popular artist in my genre because they're also a horrible person. So yeah, I'm just me.
You're just you, and that's okay. We love you.
We love you for it.
I love me too.
Wow!
Wow, I'm so conceited.
Wow, so fucking conceited, huh? But it's okay.
Yeah.
You gotta be a little bit arrogant to make it as a musician.
Just a little.
Just a little.
And yeah, we're here, we're ready, and we're here to discuss an innovative new format that you probably have never seen before, where a bunch of content creators sit down on a couch around the table and they just talk about the shit that they like. This has never been done before by anybody else.
Yeah, especially while wearing red and white. Oh, sorry, red and white and like yellow and black.
True.
Yeah.
Nobody has ever done this before. We are true pride.
Certainly not anybody whose initials are FF. Or no. Wait, what?
AF.
AF. Yeah, what the fuck? Brain.
What the fuck?
Brain. My.
You
Look,
got
I'm just a little dumb.
just a little.
You're allowed.
It's okay, nobody's
I'm allowed
perfect.
to be dumb.
And yeah, we're gonna be talking about music, and specifically the music of the last year, 2024, where there were a bunch of releases, and like generally the three of us kept our ears to the grapevine and we're checking out what was coming out here and there. So we decided, hey, let's talk about what we found out this year, what we heard, what we thought was neat. Specifically the positives, because we went into the negatives, it will be both unbearable and we will be hating too much.
Exactly. There's no point in like going over trash. You guys know what's trash.
Exactly. Also, little Arto is that Fantano Neto?
Yeah, it's Veneto.
It's Fantano. I don't know why that was so funny to me.
Intoni Fantano? Netano? Yeah, there we go.
Intoni Raintano.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That works.
Okay. That works.
Anyway,
What is going on?
so what were your impressions this last year, 2024, for music? Would you say that it was good, or personally, I would say that it was really good.
My impressions would be that I'm the biggest hater. I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress. And yeah.
Yeah, no, I understand. I understand that. Hold on, where was I gonna fucking reference? It was gonna be the don't sleep on the family, cruddy. Sleep in the family, cruddy.
But no, I thoroughly enjoyed last year in terms of music. I think there was something amazing coming out almost every week, if not every month. And the beef was only a small portion of the enjoyable parts of it, though a very, very fun portion. If you caught it live.
I remember that week because it was specifically on Cinco de Mayo when fucking Not Like Us dropped. Truly a day celebrating the two greatest victories. Mexico beating the shit out of France and Kendrick beating the shit out of Drake. Both on the same day.
Fuck the Canadians.
Fuck the Canadians. See, they're even related to the French.
Yep.
See, it's like, oh fuck me, I just made the whole connection.
It's the Canadian connection.
Yeah, apparently.
That's what happens when you let friends come in contact with you. Anyway. Yeah, there were a bunch of albums released this 2024. 2025 is gonna be next year.
I'm here to learn. Hi, Yoshi. I appreciate
Wait,
the
what is what year? What?
Right?
Today.
Don't worry
This year.
about it. Last year.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I won't worry about it then. Okay.
Anyway, I feel like we could probably just jump into it. We're gonna be starting to talk about our albums, and I have the presentation here on the desk. Here, let's start with Vesper's one.
Oh, okay. So from the top, we're making a drop.
Yep, from bottom to top. Starting is gonna be Vesper, Nero, and then me. We're gonna be going right to left.
Okay. So, forgive me for I may be a little wordy.
Yeah, he showed us a little bit of preparation, and it's gonna be like, that's a lot of words.
Yeah, I've written down notes. So, my number 5 is one Scrapyard by Quadeca, aka Ben Lasky. Now, keen viewers, you may ask, but Vesper, you handsome devil you, that's a mixtape, not an album. And to you, I say, bah humbug, it's 40 minutes, it's an album. This, to give you some background, was the collection of songs that didn't fit into his last project, I Didn't Mean to Haunt You, or his next project, Vanisher. And actually, to give even more background before that, because I'm all over the place now, apparently. For those of you who don't know, Quadeca, YouTube rapper turned into actually good rapper. This album is a experimental hip hop, art pop, and electronic album. And to be honest, probably the most amount of skips out of all of my top 5 are in this album. But mixtape, but that comes with the nature of it being a mixtape. It's thematically and sonically, like, it varied in a lot of ways, which makes the selection of songs more of a matter of like, hey, when your mood fits you, go listen to XYZ, or maybe ABC if it's a different type of thing. And while that's a bit eclectic, I think that's where its strengths really lie. Because when those feelings come, the songs associated with them can hit very hard from the yearning that one might felt. Might feel that can be associated with easier, which is all about the want to just be with someone because that's just better, easier than being alone. The desire to connect, even though you're really bad at it with way too many friends. Where even in the chorus, he's just going on about how he has way too many friends and can't really keep up with everything. But also with more, not necessarily upbeat, but definitely more up-tempo songs, such as Guess Who, where you can really feel the braggadocio of like, he is the guy right now. He is actually doing more than being a quote-unquote YouTube rapper. And it is a mixture of so many emotions done so well, not just lyrically, but sonically as well, because my god, is he an amazing producer, where the instrumentals can veer from hauntingly ethereal strings and pianos to something more fitting for like an eclectic electronic album. So what I really love about this album is that it's kind of like a person, filled with a varied amount of emotions, good, bad, ugly, and pretty, all of which waiting to be shown. Personally, very excited for Vanisher when it comes out. Also, listen to I Didn't Mean to Haunt You if you already haven't. It's one of my favorite albums of all time. My 3 recommendations, should you wish to check this out, is Dust Cutter, Easier, and Way Too Many Friends. That is all.
Okay, that's personally none. I don't think me or Neto have heard this album, but we'll be glad to give it a look. And so might anyone else in chat? Can you write the name so that like I can like add it on top?
Oh, sure.
Sure. Just let me add the little label.
Let me post them all to you right now. That's number 5. Number 4.
Right.
3.
Right. Let me add.
And 1.
Let me add like a fancy font to make it like stand out a little bit. And I completely forgot to kind of do that. Select font and then let's see what I get in here. Okay, let's use the YouTuber font.
Yes, the YouTuber font.
Oh, it's not this one, it's the other one. There we go.
I'm bold at Comic Sans.
There we go.
Alright.
Right. Next up will be his Internet's Reign 5th best album of the year, which is... Neto, are you there?
Yeah, I'm
Right.
here.
Right.
It's Reactor by Femtanol.
Right. Care to enlighten us a little bit about fentanyl?
Yeah, so if you haven't heard about Femtanol before, she's pretty freaking neat, I'd say. I found her earlier in the year due to her popping off from like TikTok stuff. Of course, her track Katamari really blew up and got big through a lot of like different TikTok edits and stuff. And when I saw that she released a new EP, it's still better than most a lot of like other stuff I heard. It's an EP, but I'm still putting it in my top albums. When I heard that she dropped a new EP, I was freaking excited. It is a little bit of a change up though from her last main release of Chaser. That that EP had most of her tracks that are very popular right now. This one changes the pace just a tad bit. Her singing is very different. The way that she modulated and pitch shift her voice is different in a way. But the tracks are still solid. Production is incredibly crunchy, incredibly gritty, and constantly hard-hitting throughout the runtime of this EP. I will say personally my favorite track is Me and Mine, the one featuring Danny Brown. I will say though, you can hardly tell that he's in the track sometimes with how chopped up his vocals are, but the overall like punchiness of the track is really what gets me. I fucking want more of her sound, more of her production. It's somewhere between like, you know, what kind of fucking equivalent it to hardcore electronica, fucking drum and bass and breakcore stuff, hyper pop a lot of the time. You get a nice mix of all sorts of different styles and genres. So yeah, Reactor by Femtanol is what are we giving ratings? Can I give a rating?
I mean, if you want. If you want. Personally, I'm not like giving them numbers, but you if you want, you can.
Let's see. I had something specific for this. Let me remember it real quick. It was, I think I was gonna say it's three puppy girls out of one paw job for me. Stupid as fuck.
So how many puppy girls make a paw job?
Well, in this case, 3.
Okay. So that's wonderful.
Okay, you're the expert, not me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Can't say I've ever gotten a paw job.
Yeah, I can say I have gotten it either, or that it may sound appealing, but hey, you do you. We don't judge here.
I definitely had to give that sort of rating, especially when she had a track that was literally just called Pet.
I can imagine.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
Yeah, I can.
I mean, her last album was called Chaser. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you kind of get the vibe.
It's a vibe.
It is a vibe. But yeah, no, that's wonderful.
Yeah, personally, out of this album, I have only really checked out the aforementioned track "Me and Mine" with Danny Brown in it. It was really good. I was inspired to actually check out Chaser from that, but like, I enjoyed it. I didn't actually know the she or apparently they, because I think it's a duo. They put out this EP. I'm probably gonna check it out.
It is actually a solo artist. Femtanol is a solo artist.
Oh, I thought it was a duo. Spotify lied to me.
No, well, I guess. I guess
Those bastards lied to me. Anyway, doesn't matter. I'm gonna check out Reactor.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious to check it out as well to see what three puppy girls out of a paw job warrants.
Oh God.
Oh my God. Anyway, moving on to the next album. Now it's my turn. We're gonna be talking about, speaking of music that got famous by TikTok, we're gonna be talking about now No Hands by Joey Valence and Bray. So Joey Valence and Bray, if you're not familiar with the name, you're definitely familiar with their song Funk Tactics that was like, yo, if you don't shut your mouth, I'ma shut it for you, punk! And then the edit comes in with the hit him with the punk tactics. Everybody knows that song by now. It got really big. That was off of their last year album, Punk Tactics. And they followed it up this year with No Hands. So, the way that I can describe it is a combination of... It's a combination of mid-2000s jock jams, like... A little bit influences, definitely you can feel a lot of Fat Man Scoop. Specifically in like, what's the one fucking track that I wasn't thinking about? The baddest. I definitely remember like seeing a TikTok by Joey Valence and or Bray that was like, just make it fucking hit. You gotta sound more like Fat Man Scoop in there. You're like, I'm the baddest bitch in this club. Just, it's definitely getting the 2000s frat boy party anthem bullshit. But it also comes from like a distinctly self-produced nerd angle. Like, if you actually pay attention to it, the production, it's exactly like Bray handles the beats, and I gotta say, I really respect them. I think they have like a stream on YouTube on like how to make a good beat, and I probably should watch it just to learn exactly their creative process. But I always respect an artist that like isn't afraid to stream their creative process, you know, as someone who actually does that. But again, my thing with the album and the reason that I put it in the 5th spot, is not because it's bad. It's actually really good to make it to the 5th fucking placing here. But it feels like a lot of the songs are really similar. That will be my only complaint. They're really good, but like they end up blending together. That's pretty much the only complaint. The songs are fun. They hit that hype vibe that makes you like want to like jump up. But they also have like one or two introspective songs that actually will stand considered the highlights. Let me look at the track list and then give you my 3 recommendations. No Hands. The standard edition. I will say that if you ask me to pick out 3 tracks from this, I would say What You Need, The Baddest, and the last track, Omnitrix. And I don't know, no numerical rating on this one, and pretty much everything from here on out is like an 8 or above. That's what all you need to know is that it's good, and I wholeheartedly recommend it. That's the only number you need in this life.
I mean, I wholly agree with the fact that it's really fucking good. In terms of just... Oh, actually, also one thing, Dokuro, do you want to combine our chats? Because...
Oh yeah, sure.
Vision was asking us, do we have opinions on Brockhampton, who I think is similar-ish to Joey and Bray? Yes, I love Brockhampton. How did you know?
Yeah, Brockhampton, like... Yeah, hold on, let's combine the chats. You knock on me, I knock on you. How do we do this? There we go.
I'm knocking on you, I'm knocking on your door.
There we go.
Let me in.
I've let you in.
Hell yeah.
But, yeah, and in terms of No Hands, though, like, I think I got into it because of you. I remember you talking about it. I checked out one of their songs, and I was like, oh, I need to listen to the rest of this Beastie Boy bullshit.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like a lot of Beastie Boy bullshit. Really good Beastie Boy bullshit. And
you know what? That's not a bad thing, by the way.
Exactly. No, it's not a complaint. It's actually it's a compliment. We love Beastie Boy bullshit in this house.
For me, I think my favorites were probably Pack-a-Punch, like Baddest, and probably Busted. Yeah, I like.
Busted is a really good intro. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually like I don't mind the fact that there's not much in the way of introspection because it's just a lot of ass shaking goodness.
True. I love slightly nerdy rap. I agree. It's really fun, especially in this day and age. When
Yeah,
it seems
that's
like
you know.
I don't know. I was gonna say the music is too green, but that hasn't been the case for at least 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like the second half of the 2010s when music was like fucking grim and nobody had any sort of joy. Nowadays people have fun. Even like the mediocre pop hits that are like middle of the road actually seem like more fun. Like Apathy. You know the one by Bruno Mars and that one Korean girl.
Oh.
Yeah, Apathy.
Yeah, that one Korean girl, fucking New Jeans
Yeah.
fans about to come for your blood.
Hey,
Look, I don't think the K-pop fans are watching. Also, Karen says, you are in the council, but you are not a master. I have never claimed to be a master. I'm so sick of that song. See, normally I would agree, but if we... Coming from the bullshit we had to deal in the 2010 to 2020, like 2015 to 2020, it's a fucking breath of fresh air. I'd rather fucking Apathy on the loop than fucking Closer from the Chainsmokers once.
Oh god. Oh, I mean, I find like a lot of pop music especially has gotten more fun in a lot of ways because
True.
like, fucking Please 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 was a huge hit by Sabrina Carpenter, and I love the fact that you're making a song about your boyfriend being such a bum that you don't want him to embarrass you. And I can relate.
I will say, in addition to that, pop music being fun again, and seeing Chapel Roan pop off.
Oh yeah,
was
true.
So nice.
Even Chapel Roan got me singing "Good Luck, Babe." I'm not even a lesbian.
Oh, you don't got me. I mean, hey, it's like what Drake said, you know, girl, you a lesbian. I said, me too.
Shut the fuck off! Thought you then bring up Drake and Chapel Roan in the same sentence?
Oh my god. Such a cringe fucking line. Actually, I do really like Chapel Roan, but ironically, I don't think her album in itself is that good. I think she's a much better live performer than she is a recording artist.
Yeah, true. I've actually seen her live performance, and it's one of those weird. What's that one live album that I really fucking like? Stop Making Sense. It's one of those Stop Making Sense situations.
I'm sorry, Pidge.
I'm sorry, Pidge. I'm sorry that he said that, Pidge.
I'm sorry that he said that too.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Did you have any thoughts on No Hands?
Be the one who talked about it at length?
Wait.
I don't know.
I wanted to say one thing about it. You know what's funny about the BC Boys vibe? Is I tried playing one of Jolie Valent's Embrace songs for my parents because my dad in particular used to play Beastie Boys in the car for us all the time when I was growing up. They didn't care for it.
Damn. He doesn't have 7-Up in his cup. He doesn't have bubbles in his tub. He's not the baddest bitch in the club.
No.
That is some boss in it.
Okay. Next up.
Next up is now we're moving on to the fourth albums. Next up is
me with number 4. You Won't Go Before You're Supposed to by Knock Loose. Genre metalcore. Now, to give a little bit of context to the title, because it does come up later to what I have to say. Brian Garrett, the lead vocalist of Knock Loose, he was on a plane and he was like experiencing a lot of anxiety, flight anxiety, and an old woman who was sitting next to him said, "Don't worry, you won't go before you're supposed to," and that kind of ties in for me with the themes of the rest of this album.
Thank you for the follow.
It's really hard for me to put into words the emotions that come out from even from a sonic perspective. But if I had to really squeeze my brain, it would be like this album is trying to scream out in desperation, which might be negative in some connotations, but I think that the desperation that it's trying to evoke is that it's trying to remind you that there's things to fight for in your life, that you gotta rip away the parts of you or the people around you that tear you down, which songs like Suffocate in particular touch on, where it's been confirmed that it's about people stabbing you in the back and the like eclipsing weight that puts on you. And the guest vocals on there by Poppy in particular are fucking phenomenal, because I think she is an incredibly underrated metal vocalist. And, well, not underrated, overhated metal vocalist, I'll say. But even besides that, it also talks about protecting the parts of you that gives you hope. I mean, the closing track, Sit and Mourn, where it talks on the hardships of life and how you go through it with people, and even then, even if it's not enough, it's okay, because this life can be way too much. Sonically speaking, the thrashing guitars and pounding drums make a great job in making every single song feel like a brawl. Brian Garris' vocals being on the lighter end of the shrieking screamo side, instead of more of a gruff growls, really add to the vulnerability coming through the lyrics as well. There's a distinct anti-authority slant to the album, but less in the punk sense and more like a warning against the dangers of blind faith, both in terms of institutions and people who twist that belief. While, naturally, you can imagine that there's an anti-religious stance, given the cover of the album. They did mention how they didn't necessarily want it to be taken like that, but more so, there's a lot to it. A lot to faith that we put on so many things that we should be more careful of. And in that, and then we should wash it away like a cleansing wave. As literally said in the song Don't Reach For Me, there's a tiresome nature to the fighting that weighs you down, but as the album title reminds us, you won't go before you're supposed to. The recommendations for me from this album are Suffocate, Take Me Home, and Sit and Mourn.
Very interesting. I saw the album cover because a lot of people compared to one of the albums that I have later here just because of the cover. They were like, is this the year for albums with a giant cross on the cover? But I didn't actually know what it was. Nobody mentioned it, the name. They just posted it, and I was curious to listen to it. But now that you mentioned now that you mentioned the context and the genre, I'm actually gonna give it a shot. Probably after this stream.
Yeah, it's very wonderful as far as metalcore goes. Because metalcore has a reputation sometimes of being a bit.
I understand. I understand.
But in terms of pushing the genre forward, I think this is one of the best albums in a very long time.
I think we're doing a really good metalcore album, and this might be it. So I'm gonna give it a listen.
What about you, Neto? Have you ever heard of this?
I will be honest, I had not heard of Knocked Loose before this year. So it's completely new to me. I will say though, as somebody who heard a good bit of metalcore a long time ago, it's nice to hear about somebody wanting to take things in a new direction, take things a little bit seriously again.
Yeah. Because it can get very silly and not in a good way.
Yeah.
The last thing that was metalcore that I feel like I enjoyed, or metalcore adjacent that I enjoyed, was Black Dresses with some of their songs.
Yeah, that's fair.
And they are no longer around, sadly.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, if you enjoy your hard-hitting guitars and drums and screaming songs, you don't even need to dig too much into the lyrics. This shit bangs.
Yeah, be sure to give it a listen. And you as well, Chad, make sure to give it a listen if you're curious about metalcore, because I know some of you are. But talking about things that hit hard, we have to move on to our next album, and it's the 4th top best album by Internet Rain this year.
Yep, it is Chromacopia by Tyler, the Creator.
Wow.
It feels wild still that I only put him at top 4. Usually he's higher on my lists, but that's just because of how much good music came out.
Chromacopia goes hard. I agree. I think we'll have something to say about Chromacopia. We were all considering putting it on, but Nero got it first. So you go ahead and tell us your opinion about Chromacopia.
Okay. I've been a fan of Tyler, the Creator, for a minute. I'm sure as all of us have been. It was interesting, I will say, though, waiting an extra year for a Tyler, the Creator album. I didn't think he was going to drop, to be honest. But seeing the lead up all of a sudden start up, like a week before the album dropped, was wild. This... I don't know if I can say it's really his most personal album, but it has been like most seemingly personal to him in a while. The tracks also go back and forth between like smooth and soft in a lot of ways to just like hard-hitting bangers, which is also a interesting like dynamic. You know, starting out with like tracks like Ratata, Noid, but then going into ones like A Darling I, Hey Jane, it's a wild switch up, to be honest. I will say though, at times I don't know if the lyrics really stick with me that much or like feel like the best to me. Specifically, I'm not a huge fan of, Hey Jane in particular. It just didn't land the best with me in particular. Mostly because it's a very odd subject matter, to be honest, in an album. But I will say, Tyler nails it across the board with production on all of these tracks, as he always does.
That makes sense.
Hard-hitting beats of Sticky and
Thank you for the follow, Monkey Boy.
Frick, my nose is stopping up and it's causing me to have a hard time to speak.
Okay, take your time.
The hard-hitting beats of tracks like Ratata, Sticky, and others, like, just nail it for me. Those stick in my head constantly right after I listen to the album. But then you have tracks like one of the ones that almost get me every time I hear it is Like Him.
Yes.
That fucking track hits me with an emotional gut punch a bit. And it's entirely due to the subject matter and how much it has been like a thing with Tyler's music throughout his entire career. So yeah, I definitely have to say that Chromacopia is a freaking fantastic album, full of some of his best tracks. So yeah, I'm not giving it a particular rating. I didn't have a jokey rating for this one.
No, that's perfectly fair.
Entirely understandable. And honestly, out of all the projects I've listened in full, out of him, because to be fair, honest, I've only listened, like the full albums, I've only listened like from Flower Boy onwards now.
Yeah, that's fair.
It might be my least favorite.
Really?
Not bad. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I
know.
like it a lot, but more so in the sense of like, that's just how stacked his entire catalog has been for like the last, what, 8 years?
Yeah, personally,
Yeah.
I agree. I don't like it more than Flower Boy. Nah, not very yet on Igoras. I'm yet to listen to that one, but I definitely like Flower Boy way more than this one. But,
Yeah,
that doesn't mean that it's necessarily a bad album. It's still really fucking good. It's just that Flower Boy is miles ahead.
But in terms of subject matter, I do like as Neto mentioned, like it's definitely the most personal to him in terms of what all the topics, because like all of it, to me personally, felt like a story of just who he's been throughout his entire career and like kind of just breaking that down in small ways. I kind of like the reason why I like Hey Jane was the subject matter, because I felt like it was interesting. You don't really see many like artists talking about like their illegitimate child in a way like that, you know, where potential illegitimate child. I think it's still not actually real, but the fact that he like wanted to claim the responsibility, like felt guilt after it and didn't want to repeat the same cycles. It really, like, I think it enhanced tracks like him, where like it paints more of a full picture of who he is as a person. Like this album like gives you an idea of where he is as a person better than I think the rest of his music, because the only other one that really came close to this for me in terms of like the personal aspects of it was Igor, but Igor was mostly about a broken heart. This goes far beyond just broken hearts.
Yeah, no, and like to me, I see the purpose of Hey Jane. It was just like one of those things where it's one of those tracks that makes me just like a little bit uncomfortable, and I'm not sure how to feel about it. You know?
No, that's completely fair, because you know it is a uncomfortable topic, but yeah, I think it's definitely a conversation he probably has had at one point of like, oh my god, did I do that? Yeah, it's a fear that he probably had, and taking it for what it is, I think he did a good job on it. And oh my god, Dokura's been pixelated.
Yeah, I've been unfortunately cursed.
You have been cursed.
It's getting more of in a while, but this may impact. Actually, this is the chromacopia color. I get a little bit close to that, so hey. Maybe it'll actually be thematic.
Yeah.
And like I'm pretty sure he uses beat crush in one of the songs or two, so wow, see, it's like we're fully immersed. I don't know. But I also did listen to Cornucopia when it dropped. I was like as surprised as everyone, because like he was like, oh yeah, I have a new album coming. It's called Cornucopia. It's coming out next week. And I was like, wait, what the fuck? I was still waiting for the fucking Cure album. Oh no, they're stacking the courses on me. Are they?
Oh no.
Now I'm also auto-tuned. Hold on. Am I?
God.
Oh no, it didn't kick in. Oh, thank God, it didn't kick in.
About it.
Anyway, but yeah. The thing about Chromacopia is that it's one of those albums that I would say I enjoy listening to it as a whole product, but I feel I can't really listen to many of the individual tracks like by themselves. It feels like I need to take it in a whole. I can't really be like, oh yeah, especially the more personal ones like him or like Hey Jane or even Jill Judy. I can't just be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna listen to those because I can't. I have to listen to everything else to get the full context just to appreciate it. It's not the entire track list. There's like, I can listen to Rat Attack, I can listen to Thought I Was Dead, Noise. Sometimes even sticky, but I'm gonna be honest, it's probably like my least favorite song in there.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
the most like radio hit song he has on.
Yeah, that's exactly why. It sounds too radio hit. It's like I don't. This is the shit that you will hear bumping in the car. I'm like, I don't think that's the image that I associate with Tyler. But I don't dislike it. It's my least favorite on the project, but I don't dislike it. It's catchy. I'm going sometimes I get myself going out. Got bear, grab a mop, it's getting sticky in this bitch.
I get that. Also, you said something that reminded me that I am the biggest like Judge Judy defender in terms of like the subject matter.
Judge Judy is perfect. It's a perfectly good song. I don't know why people. But see, I want to ask you something, Vesper. Are you also a balloon truther?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean? Balloon, the song Balloon. Do you defend it or not?
I'm drawing a blank right now.
The Donkey feature.
I'm drawing such a blank right now.
Holy fucking shit! He memory holds Balloon.
Oh my god. Because it starts out with this like
the goofiest fucking beat you've ever heard.
Piano.
Like pum 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 pam pum 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 pum.
Hold on. Let me just.
He's gotta remind himself.
That's how bad he thought it was. He didn't even fucking remember it. Wow.
Oh, God.
Am I truly Balloon's strongest soldier in this house? You do, bitch.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest right now. This was the most nothing song out of that album for me, probably because I do not remember it.
Wow! Wow! I can't believe
I've listened to this album like 3 times, maybe 4 times.
Wow, Vesper! I can't believe me and Nero are alone on the balloon battlefield.
Listen, it's not the fact that I don't like it, more so like I just don't remember it. It doesn't stick with me.
Oh no, the autotune kicked in now after the Curse of Fate bit, so they don't stack, but they're queued up.
Oh, also hi Wi-Fi.
Anyway. But yeah, that's my opinion on the Chromacopia again. To sum it up, I do like it. It's really good. It also almost made my top 10, but didn't. Actually, let me check my chart because I have it ordered down to like at least the first 10. So I'm gonna show you a little bit of onto the honorary mentions. So the ones that aren't actually in the list of my other 2 guests in here are Songs of a Lost World by The Cure, Cycles by Young Lean and Blade, Chromacopia, and then right before that comes Come Girl Late. And then there's Brad. But nobody cares about Brad.
Honestly.
Yeah, but that's not the subject matter of this. We're talking about the top 5 and the 4th album, and in the same vein now we're talking about bangers and songs that I would and would not list in outside of the context of the album. I don't know if I want to keep the autotune filter for this one, because I really want to like have a serious discussion about this one, because it's
okay. Let's reach the point.
Yeah, let's go into a quick little ad break.
Okay. We can just shoot the shit for a little bit. We can
just shoot the shit for a little bit while the set goes on. Everybody stay comfortable, go grab something to drink or something. I'm gonna run an ad, and then we'll go back with my normal voice and talk about the number 4 album on my list.
Like one honorable mention that those who are lucky enough to subscribe can hear is that I might have put a Logic album on my top 10. Which I never thought I'd say out loud.
Personally, I disagree with that one. Like, the songs are far good, honestly. I sympathize with Logic and a lot, especially with his situation. I didn't know it was that fucking hard for him. Mm-hmm. But I just couldn't fucking stand the skits.
Oh, the skits fucking suck, but that's why I just skip over them, to be honest.
Yeah, but like I listened to that shit when I was on the way to work, and I was like listening to the song, like going, oh damn, Bobby really went through some shit, and then suddenly there comes fucking what's his name? Steve Blum talking about some bullshit with like God knows who, talking about like the space station bullshit. I'm like, God, shut the fuck up for a second. That's the only. Normally, I am a defender of skits in hip hop albums because I fucking love the. Like in Enter the Wu-Tang in 36 Chambers, I love the fucking skit. I love the torture skit in that one, but this Logic one, I'm sorry I couldn't do it.
Oh, that's because like his skits are and always will be bad. But the songs themselves, I really
the songs are really good. I agree.
One other one that I missed out was Patterns and Repeat by Laura Marling. If you ever wanted to know what a mother's love felt like, that is the album. Wow. It is one of the sweetest things I've ever heard in my entire life. And to give you guys an example, hold on. Let me see. I'm just gonna like read out 4 lines from it.
Oh.
Last night in your sleep, you started crying. I couldn't protect you there, though I kept trying. Sometimes you'll go to a place I can't get to, but I've spoken to the angels who'll protect you. And I'm like, I'm like, mommy.
Yeah, I can see the appeal.
Yeah.
But the one that my honorable mention that I also want to gush about is Songs of a Lost World by The Cure. Like, honestly, I was surprised not only to see The Cure album in the year of our Lord 2024, almost over like 20 fucking years since the last one.
Mm-hmm.
But also the fact that Robert Smith really kept his voice like the same.
I know,
I know. If you told me this album still came out like 2005, this is right 1 year after the last one, I'd be like, oh yeah, I believe it. But if you like, how the fuck can a man not fuck up his voice after so long, especially like a rock singer of his caliber? Like I know Robert Smith. I know other god rock singers, and they're like, usually after a while they're all fucked up. But Robert Smith like really kept himself well. Other than that, I think the mixing is a bit iffy, but I really like the composition and especially the shoegaze influences. Oh, but we're back from the ads, and also my curse of autotune has finally wore off. So we're gonna talk about the next album, because I've been really fucking excited about this one.
Hit us with it, Dokra.
I'm gonna hit you with it. I'm gonna run you over with it, in fact. It's, believe it or not, it's GNX by Kendrick Lamar. But you might be asking, wow, Dokuro, so low in the list? You think I have put it on higher? I mean, yeah, it's good. It was just simply that there was way better music in the year that I also listened to way more and that I also love. But that doesn't mean it's a bad album. It's probably the fact that there are 4 albums that I will say here have no skips is a testament to how good this year was. But yeah, GNX by Kendrick Lamar. People say that it's his best material since To Pimp a Butterfly, and I disagree. I wholeheartedly disagree. It is not his best. Definitely, Mr. Morale was definitely way better, even though I haven't like gone and listened back to it again since after this one. But it is really good. It is short, it is compact, it is sweet, and it hits really hard. I feel like all the songs are poignant, are distinct enough. I really fuck with them all. There's not a single song that I would say, fuck me, this one's bad. No, every single song I really like. I would say the weakest, possibly, is the title track. But that's just the weakest just in comparison to them all, because there's like strong ones. Everybody already knows TV Off by now. Everybody knows the master part. Everybody loves the beat switch. Everybody knows Squabble Up. Everybody like the intro to Squabble Up when he dropped the snippet like around the time of the video for Not Like Us. Everybody was like, what the fuck is this song? When is it gonna drop? And he was like, He didn't say shit. He just kept like silent online because that's what Kendrick does. And then suddenly it dropped. I thought it was gonna be the one called Reincarnated, but no, that one is an entirely different song. But it's also really fucking good and probably my favorite of the album. And yeah, we know Kendrick Lamar was a big name throughout the year. We know the beef and all, but this has no reference, like little to no reference to the beef whatsoever, other than like maybe Whacked Out Murals references the fact that they whacked down his mural after the beef, but that's about it. The album isn't mostly him being unbothered by anything. Being like, so such is life, you just gotta keep your head down and work like I do. And I gotta say, this really hits the perfect balance between like hard-hitting Kendrick and also like his deep introspective lyricism, which I say culminates specifically again Reincarnated. It hits I think Reincarnated is the platonic ideal of a Kendrick Lamar song. The fucking not the best one. He definitely has better ones, especially into Pimp a Butterfly and Good Kid, Mad City. But if you asked me for do you think is the archetypical Kendrick Lamar song, I would point at Reincarnated. The narrative, the lyricism, the wordplay, the flow, everything is just so perfectly Kendrick, and I love it. Other standouts I would say are definitely Squabble Up, and I would say, believe it or not, Hard Part 6. Making reference to the fact that there's only one song called The Hard Part 6, which is this one. It's specifically about reminiscing his days at Top Dog Entertainment and shit, shooting the shit. It's a sweet song, just reminiscing good old days with the homies hanging out. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Other than that, I also have to give shouts to the very end of the album, Gloria, and then the Sisa features in Luther, especially in Luther. I don't know, it's just so mystical, so magical. I really love it. The final one in Gloria, I love the twist at the end where like, if I may spoil it, it's like, it's not like this love song to someone, but you're like, isn't Kendrick already a married man? And then by the end it's like, I don't love my bitch cause that bitch beat my pain. It was a love song to his pain all along. And you're like, oh my fucking god, it's so fucking genius. I love it. But yeah, that's about it. That's about all I have to say for GNX. Anybody else got anything to say?
What? Who's this Kendrick Lamar person?
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, this is probably the biggest dick rider out of all of us.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I adored this. For me, yeah, I'm of the opinion that it's like, out of all the Kendrick Lamar albums that I've listened to, because I haven't listened to Section 80 or Untitled and Mastered, this is probably my second least favorite, right above Damn and below.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, right above Damn, below Mr. Morale. But that's because, like, Mr. Morale, I think it's amazing in the sense that it emotionally will make you see things in perspectives that maybe you didn't want to come to terms with. It is therapy, the album, and that's not easy to listen to a lot of the times. But it is important to listen to, because music shouldn't just be what's easy to listen to. But GNX, however, is the most listenable album that he's ever made, in my opinion.
Yeah, true.
And to touch on, like, even the, like, spiritual, lyrical side of it, like, Reincarnated, like, the most quintessential, like, Kendrick Lamar song, that's really funny for you to say, because it's literally just a Tupac song.
Yeah, I know! That's basically his entire thing. His entire thing is just, I'm here to continue what Pac started.
Yeah, and, like, I don't mean that in just a facetious way. That is, like, Reincarnated's beat is literally the beat of a Tupac song.
It's a Tupac song that I don't think any of us can name here.
Yes, we are not allowed to say it. It starts with Made and has the...
It is Made N-words with a Z.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that.
That one.
But like even the flow, it's a very Pac flow, and the theme of like being reincarnated into a different person. I think that goes far beyond just like the whole like different musicians and the whole Lucifer and God angle, and more so towards who he's been reincarnated into a different person throughout the albums as well. Because the Kendrick Lamar from Good Kid, Mad City is not the same Kendrick Lamar from To Pimp a Butterfly, not the same Kendrick Lamar from like Mr. Morale, and seeing that progression, I think he legitimately is one of those artists that you might not get fully until you start from the beginning and see just the progress that comes to come to this point. And to touch on that, like the Heart Part 6, like historically, the Heart Part 6 has always been released before the album.
This is the first hard part. This is the first hard part that's actually being an album track list.
Yeah, and I think that has meaning to it because of what it is. It's him leaving behind the people that brought him up and starting his own path in life. It's him, like, literally saying, you know what, fuck the double entendres, I'm gonna say some real shit right now. I'm gonna be somebody new. And what that new person is, at the end of the day, I'm excited to see, because I think he has more music in the wait. And especially with how this lawsuit goes, I'm really excited to see how the other tracks that he may or may not have in store go. Because as you'll see very soon, my entire top 5 list is very, very devoid of melanin. And I'm very ashamed of that. However, man, Euphoria is my most listened to song of the year.
He's really fucking good.
And it's a stark reminder that Kung Fu Kenny ain't here to fuck around.
Well done him for it.
Alright,
also just say that God damn that they make some amazing fucking beats for this.
You wanna know?
It is just pure. It is pure.
You wanna know who actually was behind the production in most of the tracks? It was Sunwave, and believe it or not, fucking Jack Antonoff, aka the same guy that also produced for fucking Taylor Swift and Sabrina Carpenter and shit.
Jack Antonoff gets a lot of hate, but I think he's legitimately an amazing producer.
No, Jack Antonoff gets a lot of hate because he gives Taylor Swift the boring ass beats. You put him up in the booth with Kendrick and he gives you the fucking masterpieces in here.
You wanna know the funny thing? He gives himself the really fun beats.
True.
Because he is a band.
True. Actually, does he still? Because I remember like he has fun, but like then fun kind of like split up.
I'm pretty sure he released. No, not Fun. Bleachers.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, if you've never heard of Bleachers, then I'll have different things to send you later. But yeah, no.
Oh yeah, now I gotta check him out then.
But yeah, no, like the album production, like took that as credit. Like,
yeah, the production is immaculate in this one. Especially also I really gotta like, as the one who's like actually qualified to touch on this, I gotta say that like, honestly, starting the album and hearing a fucking regional Mexican singer like took me like, it's a little bit of a punch, but it actually makes kind of sense. It actually fits him, you know. And I don't think I could say that about any other artist, at least in the modern day and age.
But yeah, the production is so good. It's so pure. It is just straight like pure West Coast hip hop, just bangers almost all the way through, except for Luther, Gloria, like, and freaking what is the other one? Dodger Blue, which are so soulful, so that just good R&B tracks.
The fact that most people like are like, oh my god, this man has the balls to like sample Luther Vandross and do well over it.
Yeah. If this world were mine.
My only thing is like, Kendrick, please, you know more female singers than SZA.
Drew, where the fuck is like, what's the other one that he collabed with in the other album? Hold on. I literally have the Kendrick Lamar Spotify page over here. I just need to look up who was that one in Good Kid, Mad City. It was fucking Anna Wise.
I mean, I'm like Kendrick Gibbons on this shit again.
Oh,
But yeah,
yeah,
that's GNX.
that's GNX. Now we're going to. Yeah?
Can I have one fun little tidbit about GNX?
Go ahead.
The GNX, the car itself, was actually faster than the Ferrari that came out that year.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
American engineering, baby. Continue.
Right. Now we're on to precisely back to Vesper again. Number 3 album, which is hold on, I have it here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is number 3 for me. It is She Reaches Out to She Reaches Out to She by Chelsea Wolfe. The genre is dark wave, post-industrial, and trip hop.
Ooh. I was familiar with the first Chelsea Wolfe album or so, which was like a little bit more black metal influenced. So this is a bit of a shocker to hear.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
My first album, my introduction to her, and listening to this album, I felt similar emotions from the first time I heard "Dummy" by Portishead.
Oh.
Which anyone who knows anything about me or anything about music should know that is an immensely high level of praise. While I don't think this album is sonically on the same standing as Dummy, the writing in particular is what moved me so much. The slow crawl towards like pulling back pieces of yourself when you've been broken down, that's what this album is to me. Like the journey of just moving on from the pain of being crushed, and how you can like move past it. Like the opening track in itself like is not very subtle about it, as Whispers in the Echo Chamber. Like it talks about cutting away like parts of yourself, of undoing your past, and the way it approaches like almost in like giving birth to yourself, almost in cutting off the umbilical cord. I think it invokes a lot of strong imagery with Chelsea's very like limited but powerful lyrics. She doesn't say a lot, but the way she says it and the power she gives to each single word in her lyrics is haunting. Sonically, the music does a great job to reinforce this as well. The aforementioned Portishead. If you're looking for somebody who like sounds or like has the same gravity of Beth Gibbons that can just haunt your soul, Chelsea is a great place to start off with if you want to look for more music in that genre. Not to say they sound exactly the same, but I think the range that they have is similar for the itches they can scratch. The soundscape, instrumentally makes you feel like you're just floating in the darkest depths of some unknown sea, and Chelsea's vocals are the waves in that sea, and you will find like maybe very few other vocalists out in the current era of music that can really capture the longing, loneliness, but like desire and even hope that she has. So, like any good music, it's the marriage of both her instrumentals and the vocals that really make everything shine so much and push the core theme of the album to drag yourself out of the past traumas and past relationships, the past mistakes that you have. That if you are lost at sea with no guide to light you, then you need to be the light to find yourself. My recommendations is Everything Turns Blue, Tunnels, and Dusk, which in particular might be one of my favorite songs of the entire year. Yeah. That's She Reaches Out to She Reaches Out to She, which, my god, that is one hell of a fucking title.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll definitely be sure to check it out because I haven't listened to much Chelsea Wolfe after Birth of Violence.
See, that's what I hear, that this is very different from her.
Yeah, it's definitely very different. Like, Birth of Violence had like a little bit more of a black metal influence and stuff like that. Like, definitely not quite the vocal, but definitely the instrumentation. So hearing that it's now she's being more influenced by like trip hop. Yeah, you mentioned Portishead, and I'm intrigued.
Yeah, like I don't think it's exactly a one-to-one comparison.
Yeah,
That's
no,
just the feeling that I got, and
yeah,
there's still some rock influence there as well. Like Dusk in particular, like the entire ending sequence is like one whole solo, like guitar solo, and yeah, it's instrumentally really nice. But I'm not the most qualified person to talk about all of that.
Yeah,
I don't make music.
I'll keep it on the backlog, and I'll definitely be sure to give you an educated opinion later on when I do listen to it.
What about you, Neto? Have you ever listened to Chelsea?
I had never actually listened to Chelsea Wolf before, so hearing you mention Dummy made me fucking perk up my ears because
Yeah, we could definitely hear the
Dummy is-
puppy ears sparking. Don't worry. My cat ears also perked up. I was like,
yeah, I might be setting it up for failure by comparing the two albums, but you know, it's both blue. It's both got a white lady up front.
it's basically the same thing.
They're basically the same thing. But yeah, no, if you do like Portishead and I guess the general vibes, it's less trip hop and more on the dark wave side of things, but it is C'est Magnifique for what it is.
yeah, similar enough vibes will get me.
That'll work
Yeah,
out.
no, I'll definitely hope the rest of you check it out as well, because this is the last thing I've listened to out of all the albums of last year, and I didn't expect it to land this high.
That's very high praise. And speaking of high praise, we gotta move on to the next album by Internet Neto, which is
Here, one
Right.
moment, I kept pulling my nose.
No, I know what it is. I'm just asking you to name it.
It is MG Ultra by Machine Girl.
Of course, because of course Neto listens to Machine Girl.
You know, funny thing is, I actually went to go see Machine Girl like a month or two ago.
Yeah, I think actually I remember you telling me about it, or maybe you posted about it in your Discord server. But I did remember hearing you say, "Yeah, I'm gonna go see Machine Girl," and I was like, "Hell yeah!"
Now, what was that
Yeah.
like? What did it smell like?
The smells were something to say for sure. It was packed. It was fucking packed venue.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
Glad
it was
for her.
but yeah, the smells were something for sure, to say the least. The show though was fucking incredible. And you know, I fucking love Machine Girl, so seeing that they were coming out with a new album and starting to post singles about it was wonderful. It's the first like Machine Girl album that I was really like, oh, I know it's coming out like soon. I'm like keeping my eyes on it in a while. So and I can say I wasn't disappointed. Especially because this fucking gave me a lot of similar vibes to my favorite Machine Girl album, which is Because I'm Young, Arrogant, and Hey Everything You Stand For. This feels like spiritually in the same sort of line. Just hard fucking like electronic punk beats, super noisy production, the vocals like screeching out into the from the void. Yeah, fucking and also of course the same sort of topics that Machine Girl always kind of cover, of just fuck, what can I what can I say what Machine Girl lyrics are about? They always feel like they're so all over the place, and yet also consistently like about fucking shit up. God. Going like just looking at the track list, again, real quick. Because sometimes I will say when listening to a Machine Girl album, it's hard for me to tell what the track is again.
Okay.
I do kind of get lost. But pointing out some of the really good tracks that I like. Hot Lizard. Hot Lizard is a little bit just like strange, a little bit deranged. Fucking I will say another one that has also been pointed out by other people as being like really cool from the album, Mother Father. It goes all in a part that just sounds like stadium arena rock at points, which is interesting and not what I expected from like a Machine Girl track. Also the track that I heard first, the single from the album, Psychic Attack, it switches between the older sound of like Machine Girl, of like Wolf Girl era stuff, and then also their current sound. Just at times it goes into like more glitchy, older techno to back into the hardcore punk influenced parts. So yeah, there you go. MG Ultra, my Machine Girl. I love the band. What can I say? I take fucking a lot of influence from them. So yeah, there you go.
To be honest, I've never listened to them.
I'm gonna say that I'm probably some worse than Vesper because my only exposure to Machine Girl is the Neon White soundtrack.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know if that's better or worse than having no exposure to Machine Girl, so
I will say the Neon White soundtrack is them at their most like electronic and least like abrasive. Like,
yeah, I was imagining because you mentioned that it was about fucking shit up and all this abrasive punk energy, and I was like, did I listen to the wrong Machine Girl album?
No, well, you listen to one of their albums that is the probably the most like friendly. Because they do occasionally will put out stuff that is more friendly to listen to. Specifically pointing at other releases that they had, like Repurposed Fantasies, or their first main album is actually usually everybody's like intro point to them, Wolf Girl. That's also probably like the most one of the more friendly releases. Also, their album Gemini is also pretty easy to get into. It was at a certain point with their album, Because I'm Young, Arrogant, and Hate Everything You Stand For, that they went full on in the punk influence.
That honestly sounds fun. Might give it a shot, because I do enjoy my punk albums a lot.
Yeah, true. I was like surprised to hear that from the Machine Girl that I heard, but hey, if they have a different direction, I'm willing to give them a shot.
Yeah, totally.
But if that's all we have to say, then we can move on to the next album. And speaking of weird, wild shit, We have my upcoming number 3 album of the year. The New Sound by Georgie Grip, formerly of Black Midi. May they rest in peace because they split up.
R.I.P. Black Midi.
R.I.P. Black Midi.
Rest in peace.
And anyway, yeah, this is probably the curveball of my list, because I don't think anybody expected me. So far, I've had like 3 hip hop albums, and I have another one on the way. And this one is probably like the least expected for me. Now, honestly, I was never a Black Midi listener. I should probably gonna go back and listen to them now that they really probably aren't gonna put any more on. But if judging by the stuff that Georgie Grip has going on in this album, I'll probably really like them. Because the way that I could describe Georgie Grip is like, what if modern day David Byrne, instead of being influenced by Afrobeat, was influenced by like salsa and Latin jazz? And which is something that's really apparent. Not quite at the beginning of the album, because the first song, Blues, is like, what's the word? Blues is exactly like this, definitely jazz influenced, but not quite getting the Latin influences yet. But it's like this chaotic prog rock song about like a hipster or something. And it's like, you walk around, you have your convictions, and you know what I mean, it's your favorite sort of phrase. And it's like, that's pretty much most of the album. It's Georgie Grip singing either in third or first person stories about characters that are like, at the very best kind of despicable, and at the worst kind of fucked up. As exemplified by the lead single and probably the most popular song of it, Holy Holy, that you probably heard, the one that goes like, it's basically just about a guy like showing up to a brothel and hiring a prostitute and being like, I don't actually have to have sex with you, I just want to make it look like you pretend that you think I'm the best lover ever, just so you can see me, make me look like a big dick guy. But it's presented in this way that's just heavily influenced by like salsa, by Latin jazz, with this new wave / prog rock sound that I think I found really refreshing. I mean, there are also a lot of a few instrumentals in the album, like the title track, The New Sound. And at the end, it ends with If You Are But a Dream, which is a cover of, let me remember exactly who. It's a cover of... yeah, by... apparently it was mostly associated with Frank Sinatra, but it's somebody else. It's a cover of If You Are But a Dream. Definitely fits that old school singer vibe. I really... definitely a standout of the track, but I'm gonna say, if I had to pick 3 tracks out of this to let everybody listen to, it will be, of course, Holy Holy, the lead single. It definitely salsa influences, but also the prog rock, jazz, new wave influences. Then I would say, love it. The second one will be Through a War. Yeah, Through a War, about similar sound, but not quite the same. And the last one, not actually any of the other ones, it would be Terra, which is closer to samba and or salsa out of all genres. And I will say that I instantly recognized that I knew what he was doing when I was like sleeping on the bus to it with my jacket on top, and I was like, wait a minute, this is just like when I was a kid sleeping at a party on 2 chairs with my dad's jacket on when I was like 5 or 6 years old, and when the party was still going on, but I needed to go to sleep because I was a young bab. And then my suspicions were confirmed, because when I saw like an interview with him, and he was like, Oh yeah, now I gotta put you on some shit. This is one of my favorite albums. It's called Fantasmas by Willie Colon, which is one of the greatest salsa singers from Puerto Rico and all of Latin America, really, of all time. Still beloved. Shout outs to El Gran Baron, probably one of the most fucked up but also greatest salsa songs of all time. We love it. And that's pretty much it. And that's pretty much all I have to say on the new sound. I'm gonna go and listen to Black Midi like right after this because I really gotta educate myself on them. I didn't get to listen to them, but if they're anything like I suspect, which is a lot of bit more fucked up, modern sounding talking heads with more salsa influences and Afrobeat influences, I'm really gonna fucking like them. Then yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about the new sound. Really good. Check it out if you like fucked up weird prog rock.
I have actually listened to Black Midi before, though it was only one spin of like their Hellfire album from 2022, and I do remember liking it. I just don't remember it much because it was still just one listen.
That's fair.
So I was curious about this album. I guess it's for some reason I just never touched on it.
Makes sense. It probably slipped under all the other songs, everything else that came out this year. Because I remember this came out in the same week as one of the other albums that I was gonna put in my top 5, but I got beat by somebody else, and I'm gonna snitch on who or which album it was. Literally same day. It was like I was expecting a review of the other one by Fantano, and then he came out with this review, and I was like, oh, okay, fine, I'll listen to it because my For You page on TikTok was like gassing it up and was like, it can't be that good. And I got Breaking Bad, and it really was that good.
Yeah. Go on.
Oh, no, go ahead and finish yourself.
Come on now, puppy. You know how to take commands.
Fuck. Okay, look. I was just gonna say I had not actually heard Black Midi before, but this last month I had put off listening to some of Jordy Creep. This last month I finally had the music video for Holy Holy pop up in my feed. I was like, okay, screw it. I'm playing a video game right now. I'll listen to this too. I was fucking blown away by how immaculate that track is.
It's really good. I told you, especially okay. You wanna know my favorite part? My favorite part is the syncopation on the bar when you're like, "I can tell you were lonely," and the moment you walked in, and then the drums. Somebody was doing the count, and it's like it's still 4/4. It's still 4/4, but it comes like a fucking 1/16th note too early. But it's fucked up. It makes you think it's fucked up, but it's perfectly normal. It makes you go insane, which is actually the intention of the song. It's like nagging you. It's like how the narrator is nagging the girl in the song.
Yeah. And that other track that you had mentioned, you know what I mean.
The blues.
That specific track also reminds me a little bit of an artist I used to listen to growing up, Tom Waits.
Wow! I never expected you to pull out the Tom Waits reference, but yes, I actually.
Oh God, yeah.
Now that you mention it, you're kind of right, but I can't exactly place where you're coming from. But you're kind of right.
It's the feel. It's the feel to it.
Yeah, no, you can. Now that you mention it, yeah, you kind of make it because Tom Waits, the only big album that I've listened by Tom Waits is really fuck, which one is it? I think it's Alice, but I don't know if it's called Alice. One of the trilogy of his concept albums, that musical. Let me look up Tom Waits discography. Yeah, Alice, the one. That's the one I'm talking about.
Oh, okay, yeah. I see. I actually haven't listened to that one in particular. I'm mostly known for like the old, slightly older stuff, like Swordfish Trombone, and like some of the like releases from the 70s and 80s.
No, yeah, that's fair. I remember having listened to Swordfish Trombones a little back in the day, but it never really stuck with me for some reason. I should probably go back and listen to him because I really do like Alice and the other one, the Black Rider.
I can't say I've listened to Tom Waits, but you know what? If I enjoy the vibes of the Jordy Grape album, maybe I'll also give that a shot.
Yeah, maybe.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if you like it, but definitely give it a shot. I can definitely vouch for it. My weirdo outsider pick for this for the list. The other two are more conventional. Don't worry about it.
It's weird. This is an extremely critically acclaimed album.
Yeah, it is, but you don't really expect me to put the extremely critically acclaimed prog rock with Latin influences album in my list that has fucking Joy Valence and Kendrick Lamar on it, do you?
Yeah, I do. I know you.
God damn it! Am I really that predictable?
Yeah.
Fine. Let's move on to something less predictable with the Vesper's next album, which is
Oh. Yeah, speaking of not predictable.
Yeah, I was gonna say, speaking of not predictable. You're gonna talk to us all about this one.
Yeah, this is Monarch of Monsters by Violet Pony. They are she. I think they go by they, she, they, or one or the other. She's a brony artist, I guess, primarily. Is that how she's made her like mark in the music world as making brony music on YouTube? But she also makes quote unquote serious music. And this is one of, I guess, her latest albums. I'm not very familiar with her. I didn't know her at all. It was like just I think I was just going through like random top 50 lists. I think I found her. I saw this album cover in Rate Your Music's top 50 for 2024, and I was like, huh, this is extremely horny looking. What is this about? And I gave like one of the songs a shot, and I was completely blown away. This is a alt rock, prog rock, noise rock album, and to be honest, it's kind of like an everything rock album, minus like dad rock, I guess. Yeah, it's not the bad rocks. It's no Kid Rock.
Yeah, thankfully.
All right, but jokes aside, if anyone ever can, like, before I get into things, if anyone wants to listen to this album, please take heed of the warning at the start of the album, where they talk about like, hey, this has some heavy themes on it, slur usage for like the F slur and all that, because they're a very queer creator, as you can expect from the brony community. But yeah, I spoke about a lot of complex emotions with all the albums, like the struggle to fight for who you are, the acceptance to be a better person, and this album is kind of like a good encapsulation of all of those themes put together. But the real reason I think I put it up this high is that it's a reminder that to get to our best, we kind of need to acknowledge our worst. Like, the opening track of this album is called Pest. It's a sign that Violet thinks that subtlety is for cowards, and that is kind of not going to change throughout the rest of the album. The lyrics are very hard-hitting, very poignant, and they will not... Then they do have like poetry to them, because they're not all blunt. You kind of need to read between the lines. But the opening track has a 2000s emo rockism to it, which is perfect for the martyrdom that it's trying to go for with its lyrical content. Because, you know, we all love, like, I Suck and I'm Going to Hell type of music from that era. Especially on the emo genre, but that martyrdom, like, it's only like a thin... it's only like this thin starting thesis of what the rest of the album is, because it gets picked apart throughout the rest of the tracks. With a variety of like influence points, because like at like several points of the album, it reminded me of MCR. It reminded me of like Man with a Mission, black dresses, Swans, and so many other like bands in all across rock, which genuinely that was the most impressive part for me. That from one track to the other, it just somehow could feel like I was listening to a different artist, and yet it all made sense thematically. Tracks like the Wallflower Equation or Sludge being the prime examples of just how many voices a violet can capture in like one continuous string and tie them all together. Which it is a feat to be able to do that because those two songs combined are about like 35 minutes. They like paint like a really vivid portrait of self-hate and acceptance through like just how hard sometimes the instrumentals can go and match with the poetry of the lyrics. And all of that, and the lyrics themselves, it's more like a character album of sorts, where it's from the perspectives of the lamb and the wolf. The both of these trying to search for self-forgiveness on what they may have been in the past to themselves and towards other people. That how their traumas have caused them to lash out in a variety of ways, which now they like feel guilt over, but also want to move past because they know that it's not the end of all there is. There's such a brutal candidness that the album just never shies away from, but it never like loses itself in the whirlwind of negative emotions that is the core of it, because like with that edge it also like rides the line of not falling into despair, because at the end the kindness that we have towards others, that others have towards us, and especially we can have towards ourselves, is what really sticks through. And like I think that's where the concept of the monster comes in, the kindness that's held for our monsters that we were, because you know, only monsters are only made from other monsters. So the message that I chose to take away was that even though the struggles that we find ourselves going through in the world persist, so do we. And it's in that persistence that we find an acceptance in who we were and put that to rest. My recommendations for this would be The Wallflower Equation, Revenge Fantasy, and Huntress. Yeah. That's the Brony album.
Brony album.
I mean, sure, good art can come from anywhere. I'm not judgmental, but it's still a little bit taken care of. It's a little bit weird to see both you and the creator of Ultra Kill put this on their top of their top albums of the year. It's a bit of a shock, but
Good shit, man. It's really good shit.
I know. Like, I trust you, and I trust Hakita because like you two guys have really good taste in music because you're you. And Hakita has referenced God Pit You Black Emperor, and I trust him. And I trust you as well.
Yeah, no, it's like, because, like, you guys heard the sheer variety of influences that I listed.
Yeah, exactly. You mentioned swans, and I was like, what do you mean swans?
Yeah, the Brony album's got the Swans vibe to it.
Right, sure.
Oh.
I tried to listen to the beginning, but it's a bit of a daunting task, because this is like an hour and a half, almost 2 hours,
Yeah.
and like, fuck me.
Yeah, and like 2 of those songs are 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Like 35 minutes.
It's a bit of a hefty listen, so I'm gonna have to make some time to listen in, especially now that I'm doing right now with my current project of listening to Write Your Music Top 100 albums. But I can put some space in there. I'm gonna see what I can listen to.
Yeah, definitely the 3 tracks that I mentioned. Those are the ones that I would recommend people. I think if you like the sounds of that, if you like the vibes, like thematically and sonically of what it's trying to do, then I think you'll enjoy the rest of the album.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be sure to give him a shot. What about you, Nero?
I will be honest, I have not ever heard of this until like now. So I'm like, what? This is just bewildered.
An understandable reaction.
Although I will say, to be honest, with pretty much everything that I have not listened to that y'all have been talking about, I'm gonna have to go and use this as a way to like look at other stuff.
Hell yeah, that's what I want at the end of the day. For
Yeah,
more people
exactly.
to listen to cool music.
Exactly. If I get you to listen to Georgie Griff, you always get me to listen to a Bronny artist. Equivalent exchange.
Yeah, and I get to listen to Machine Girl.
Exactly.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, no, and this will come to absolutely the shock of nobody, but also made by a trans woman.
Based.
And who would have thunk?
Who would have thunk
Like,
it?
yeah, Brony album about trauma and grief. But yeah, that's my number 2.
Right, and now we're moving into the number 2 of the one Internet Rain herself, which is a complete whiplash from this last album.
Yeah, this is. I was
You're
gonna
like,
say, yeah.
if you're like, I mean, Vesper brought, here's the most emotionally significant album written by somebody this last year from the most unexpected place, and never brought this to the table.
Yeah, I bring King of the Mischievous South Volume 2 by Denzel Curry. Oh, fucking, I don't know how to like. What can I even say after like Vesper is over there talking about trauma and all sorts of other
You
things?
know what
I'm
you could
like,
say?
fucking sick ass beats.
No, Neto, you know what you could say?
Uh-huh.
You got so much drive that you could have been a chauffeur.
Oh my. Oh god. But yeah. Fucking. Oh god. Okay. Denzel motherfucking Curry.
We love him.
Fucking love him. God. Okay. I got into him back when his album Taboo dropped, like a few years ago. I've been like fucking hard into listening to his stuff since then. Every other new thing that he drops is like, it feels like a one-up almost, like, and he keeps changing though every single time. He'll do something that has a bunch of like cool introspective like tracks, some of the tracks on Taboo, a lot of the tracks on Melt My Eyes, See Your Future, but then he'll just drop a album just full of fucking bangers like Zoo and like King of the Mischievous South here. And that's really what it is. It is just straight up dirty South hard bangers. And it is chock full of them. And that's what really fucking made it for me. It is addictive to listen to for me. Freaking Ultra Shit, Hot One, Black Flag Freestyle, G's Up. God, when G's Up comes on while I'm listening to the album, I fucking want to chant along to it. And yeah, that's what this is really great for. It is oh my god, my wife came running over to yell. I keep calling it cheese puff.
Context wife.
Oh god. But yeah, it's like it's not an album that I seriously listen to for like the contents of its lyrics. It is one of those types of albums that I listen to because the beats are fucking amazing and the some of the fucking one-liners just go fucking hard. So yeah, um, I don't know what else to say at this point other than I fucking like Denzel Curry a lot. He's always doing something good.
I agree with you on that because my big three personally, at least in modern rap, is like Tyler, Denzel, and Kendrick.
Yeah, I agree.
Fuck yeah. Oh, yeah.
Love you, Peggy, but you know.
Yeah, now Peggy's top 5 for me, but he's not the big three, but still top 5 for me. Well, we'll get to that later. Right now we're talking about dance. Well, let me tell you, I fucking love this album. I had to we had to make a concession. We agreed that at least one of us got one of the hip hop albums this year. Apparently, Vesper missed the memo, but I got GNX and Neto got King of the Mischievous South.
Mm-hmm.
You got 2 of them, Dokuro, don't lie.
We haven't got, actually, yeah, we're counting no hands, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, we're talking about King of the Mischievous South Volume 2 right now. Let me tell you, I fucking love this album. Specifically, I love how much of a throwback to the Memphis rap era it is. You can feel it in it uses in every single song in the production. It is especially like the beginning with the intro by Kingpin Skinny Pimp, the narration, the interludes, everything, the beats especially. It has that low-fi production, the looped Memphis rap verses, hooks and shit. And I do agree. I think this album, yeah, it might not be the strongest in terms of content compared to everything else we got going on, but goddamn, it isn't fun to listen to. I put this on, like Vesper said, he was listening to one of these albums for like grinding his gacha dailies. And I use this album to grind up for my gacha dailies. I fucking love King of the Mischievous Side. I fucking love Denzel Curry. I've been listening to him since Imperial. Actually, now that I look about it, I looked up Denzel Curry on my Spotify library, and I found out I have pretty much everything since Imperial, including the 32 Cell re-release.
Hell yeah.
I want to say one other thing. I will call out TikTok though for one thing.
Mhm.
Okay, them putting anytime that I hear that old like sampled rapping in the album, I swear to God, I keep thinking, oh God, it reminds me of funk because
Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up!
I swear to God,
I'm gonna fucking kill you!
yeah, it's the TikTok brainworm fucking killing me. It is wrapping its way around my spinal cord and choking out my brain.
Neto, I'm gonna open up your skull and surgically extract that parasite from you. Memphis Rap did it first.
I know. Look, and it's just TikTok killing me.
We need to fix you.
Look,
also,
we need to fix you. I need to make you listen to 3-6 Mafia on a perpetual loop for 3 days.
I mean, I can offer Neto some punishment for what she just said. You said like, yeah, you listened to Habu first when it came out like a few years ago. You mean 7 years ago?
It came out in 2018, Neto.
7 years ago. Fucking
God. Yeah. It's been 7 years since Taboo.
Shout out to Taboo by introducing me to Zilla Kame, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, I love Vengeance. But yeah, no, my thoughts on this album. I liked it. Probably my least favorite Denzel Curry project. Which, wow, it has been a theme amongst the rappers today, except for Jerry Valence and Bray. I don't know. I like Denzel in his introspective side. Melt My Eyes is my favorite album from him.
I can see that.
And but that's not to say like I don't enjoy the bangers, because like honestly, Ultra Shit has been like one of my like maybe most played tracks of last year. Like sometimes I just have it on the background consistently on loop because it's just so mesmerizing. That beat from like that devil shit. Like as you mentioned, Yokoro, it's like a full-on homage to 90s Memphis rap. And if you enjoy that song, is like, if you enjoy 90s rap, Memphis style rap in particular, this album is tailor-made for you and then some.
He even got a Project Pat feature in there. That's how you know it's about the real shit.
He truly is the king of the mischievous South.
Exactly.
I will say one other thing. I forgot to give my silly ass rating for this. I give myself a stale end piece of white bread for listening to this.
You are a very fresh and delicious piece of white bread.
Yeah, true. You're like a baguette. You're different than normal white bread.
See, wife, you agree, right?
No, my wife came over and said you should bark. Yeah, not for free. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, hold on. Let me plug in my mic one and once again. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna snooze the end one thing because now that we've talked about the pretty much the second best rap album of the thing, we're gonna talk about the other second best rap album of the thing.
Oh.
We're gonna be talking about my second best album of the year. I Laid Down My Life For You by JPEG Mafia. Which, funnily enough, also has a dancehall feature. Ultra JPEG Ultra. Out the trenches for you flabbergasted fat fucks. We love this. We love this album in this house. We're scaring the hoes. This and every subsequent release really was the only reason that Brad did not make any of our top 5 lists, or at least mine. Cause like if we had done this shit in July, Brad will be here. But no, suddenly every subsequent album that came out in the year was better than this, better than Brad.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't like Brad that much.
Homophobia.
Gay card. No, please. I've sucked enough dicks. I've watched enough JoJo's. I have one. I have Stardust Crusaders hard copy right next to me.
I'm sorry, Vesper, but the council has decided. Anyway, we're not talking about Brad right now. We agree it is a good album, but it is not a good album today. Anyway, yeah, fucking I Laid Down My Life For You. What can I fucking say about Peggy that hasn't been saying about Peggy?
Probably a lot.
Probably a lot, because like, let me tell you, just from the beginning of the album, where you hear the hats ringing and see him scream like, if I was the NBA player, I would be Dylan Brooks, but worse. You know it's gonna be something special. Because see, like, I've pretty much everybody else here on the internet I was gonna say white, but I didn't remember that I'm not white. As with lower melanin rap fan, I am a JPEG Mafia fan, especially including his last year's effort with Danny Brown, Scaring the Hoes, aka my personal album of the year last year. Second only to Data by Tiny, but that's an entirely different matter. I'm a Peggy stan. We love Peggy in this house, and me doubly so. Not just me as a fan, as a producer. I am also speaking as a producer, because Peggy, in Ice Cream and This in the Mirror, if I interact with everyone, he goes like 20 bitch switches a minute, Peggy and me in the Guinness. They were like, yeah, he's not quite 20 bit switches a minute, but he's getting close. And he's definitely experimenting with newer styles. Like, traditionally Peggy beats are like, Well, he doesn't really have a dedicated style, but previously he was like operating in a more soulful, jazzy album with like the most fucking clipped drum that you could ever imagine in your entire life. And now he's switched it up a little bit more, veering into metal of all things. Like, specifically, I scream this in the mirror before I interact with anyone. Has one of the nastiest guitar riffs that I've ever heard. And apparently a fucking Fortnite sample of all things. Like, there's a sound in the middle of it that comes from a Fortnite emote, and I'm like, of course you did, Peggy. Of course you did. Then after that, we get Sin Miedo, sampling, who the fuck was it by? I'm gonna have to look this up in real time. Fucking right, Two Live Crew, Hoochie Mama. And then hitting us with one of the, a completely different style of guitar. This is a more melodic solo style. And then there come the experimentations. We get the usual Peggy with I'll Be Right There. And then we get something entirely out of left field. And I will say probably one of my favorite fucking things. Peggy hitting up the Brazilian funk with It's Dark and Hell is Hot. Like, straight up fucking sampling DJ Ramamis. I guess, do you see Peggy and his fucking and his peak saying, I'm gonna sample some fucking shit that you have never heard of, that you will think, how the fuck do I make this a beat? Then every single time, every single one of these songs has a sample that just fucking hits me in the face that I'm like, there he goes again. He put it into the fucking beat. How did he make it work? I don't know. Some of them make sense, some of them don't. Like, for example, we get the ex-military one sampling in the same song that from the Wu-Tang Clan, specifically the RZA sample of Tears. But then, in the middle of it, he samples Mexican indie rock band Porter, specifically La China. And I'm like, Peggy, how the fuck did you find this? I don't even listen to that Porter. I listen to Tomahawk. I don't listen to everything. Come on, how the fuck did you listen to this? And then you have fucking Either Honor of the Drugs, which apparently is a sample of a fucking AI cover of a Future song. And I'm like, Peggy, you fucking genius, you did it again. I love him, I love you for it. Please, I don't care. Give him access to the fucking vault or whatever. I don't know. I want to hear him work more, especially in this new more metal influenced direction, which I will say stands out the most in Jihad Joe, which I would almost call black metal to a certain extent. If you ask me to pick 3 songs out of this one, I will say Sin Miedo, the single, of course. I would say It's Dark and Hell is Hot, just for the audacity of the fucking Brazilian funk sample. And then I will say Ex-Military. Just because, I don't know, I really love Ex-Military. It's just so... You get the soulful Tears sample, and then in the middle of it, dicen que se fue a buscar en el ombligo de la luna. And I'm like, bravo. I fucking love JPEG Mafia. Anybody else want to take the stage and I lay down my life for you?
So you remember that theme of me being like, yeah, I like this album, but oh yeah, same thing for here. I like this album, but probably my least favorite out of all the Peggy ones I've listened to. Oh my god, did I break Docker?
No, it's fine. Go ahead. I'm just having to sneeze the ads for a bit.
Okay. Honestly, it's probably a matter of like it came out so much earlier in the year that I don't remember it as well. But I remember like when it came out, I immediately told you, damn, there's some heavy like rock and metal influences. I wish he leaned into it more and just made a full-on rock album. And,
I remember that conversation we had.
Yeah, and I think that's what it kept me wanting, where, like, it's impressive just how much you can do from a production side and sample everything together and make it sound somewhat coherent. However, I feel like the Peggyisms, like, they were a little too much for me in some places, and drowning out the parts that I did enjoy about this album. However, that's not to say that it's a bad thing. It's still a JPEG Mafia album. It's still gonna be better than most of the things you like and listen to and will ever listen to. Hi Owen, I hope your chat likes me talking about JPEG Mafia.
I hope your chat enjoys listening us talk about nerd bullshit.
Yeah, because we're near the end of our albums of the year.
We're on our music nerd cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're like almost at the very end. Like the next up is the top one.
Mm-hmm. But I hope you had fun with me, Slide. If you gotta like raid and run, feel free to. But yeah, I enjoy this album, but it's just lacking that it factor for me that the rest of the albums had. And I think it's because, like how you mentioned, they had more of a soulful, like smoother sampling choices to them in the previous. What do you mean happened to my mic?
Oh no. Don't tell me you've been screaming with the wrong mic in there.
Is it?
No, you sound fine over here.
Yeah, you sound good on Discord.
Maybe it's the wrong mic on OBS.
Let me check. I'm killing myself.
Oh no! Thankfully, I'm gonna be keeping my vote from my side, and on my side, you sound fine.
You know, Elwin, we had an extended discussion about like how I wouldn't make jokes like that, and then you do this to me.
Jeez.
Hold on.
Take your time.
HyperX podcast. There we go. I don't understand what happened. I did not touch OBS at all. Why did it change? One would argue I'm a great friend for telling you this. You are. You are.
You are true.
I'm not blaming it on you. I'm just saying I am deceasing.
Please don't die. We still need to finish listening to your opinions.
Okay, yes. Alright, we're better now.
I will say
I just want to say OBS fucked me. I have a blood vendetta against them, and I will be cursing their generations for the years to come. Whenever they put on socks, they will find it wet and filled with clipped toenails.
Wow.
Oh my god.
But yeah, my ad break's about to start, so fucking Christ. I guess, okay, if anybody else wants to, like, put in their thoughts, go ahead. I'm gonna go bash my head against the wall.
I
was just gonna say the one thing of, Doker, I remember you messaging me about the Porter sample.
Yeah, I explained to you. I had to give you the context. You don't fucking understand how crazy it was to me, okay? I had to message one of my friends who's also like a big music nerd friend of the channel, and also a doctor, and also a fellow fighting game player. I had to message him, bro. The fucking emergency time! Peggy sampled Porter. He was like, what the fuck?
Oh my god. Yeah, no, I was like, what is this? Because I, of course, never had heard of them before.
Yeah, no, and I think the other day in another server, I caught Arto posting Host of a Ghost by Porter, and I think I have to blame you, the chain reaction of me telling you about that for that. That means all is well in the world.
Hell.
I love Porter, I love Host of a Ghost. If anybody here wants to listen to a good album in another language but that also has songs in English, check out Atema Hawk by Porter. Not to be confused with Porter Robinson, who unfortunately did not make the honorary mentions this year. I like Smile, but it was not that good. It's very front-loaded.
Yeah, I like Smile for half of it.
Yeah, the first half of Smile is really good. The second half of Smile is just... yeah. But I do have to thank... I do have to thank Cheerleader for giving me that, what's the word? For giving me my trademark of hitting the drum break before the drop. Which I love that production trick, and I've been doing it ever since. And also the relatability of it, but that's about it. Anyway, I'm gonna run some math before we hit the top one, so I feel like we should, while we wait for Neto, because I think she had to step out for a bit. So everybody say hi to the ads.
Oh, no, you didn't have to step out.
Yeah, I think you're hearing voices, Doku.
I think I might be hearing voices, but I'm still hitting the ads, because like they're gonna be hitting in 5 minutes, and I don't want them interrupting us through the favorite albums of the year.
Of course.
So we can shoot the shit and talk about our honorable mentions or dishonorable mentions.
Let me listen if there's any other. Let me see if there's any other honorable mentions.
I have a bunch.
I mentioned. I mentioned Laura Marling. I mentioned Logic. I'm trying to think. A lot of the albums I listened to was just me catching up from other years.
Yeah, we could also say any 2023 stragglers that you left behind that you want to talk about. That you were I didn't listen to it on the year it came out, but it's still really good. So maybe you can you can give it this little 3 minutes.
You were gonna say something, Neta?
Oh, I had a couple of honorable mentions as well.
Go ahead.
Well, if we were gonna mention albums from other years, 2 of them are Salesforce by Lauren Boesfield. Lauren Boesfield, formerly Narrow's Day at Disneyland.
Ah, yeah. Big fan of her.
Amazing experimental electronic and breakcore and all this other stuff artist. Her album Salesforce is her combining those breakcore elements and orchestral background of her some of her other work that she's done for film in a very satisfying, cohesive way. The other one that I had is Ada Rook. I keep on having to look up the album title because it's long as fuck. Ada Rook's Ugly Death, No Redemption, Angel's Curse, I Love You. Trans woman making metalcore-ish album about being trans. And yeah, also Ada Rook used to be part of Black Dresses.
Oh.
Whoa, Black Dresses, shout out.
Yeah.
One of my favorite bands. Which you should definitely listen to if you already haven't.
So good. The one other, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, you can go ahead. Let's have you finish first.
Last one, Digital Utopia by Milky Possum. I only remembered that this album came out this year, a couple of days ago. But fucking good what it sounds like the mid 2000s early 2010s Aranet. That's the best way I can describe it. It is hardcore techno beats and cool synths. My favorite track that she has on that album is I Can Has Torrents.
Yeah, that's very of the era.
Yeah.
Yep.
In terms of music from other years that really stuck out to me, as we mentioned her before, the Rise and Fall of the Midwestern Princess by Chaperone.
Yep.
I listened to that after missing the initial wave of hype, and I think what's really okay. So sometimes I watch pro wrestling. Sometimes there are edits of pro wrestling with music into AMVs. There was one of her of a pro wrestler and Pink Pony Club, especially the live version, and I was like, holy shit, this song slaps. And then I kind of fell down the rabbit hole of listening the rest of the album songs. I still maintain she's a better live performer than she is a recording artist, but she has an immaculate ear for the most poppy and enjoyable pop songs that you can have, and I'm really excited to see how she'll go next. If she makes more music, which seems more and more unlikely every day. Okay, and the one artist who I just absolutely fell in love with was Yule.
Oh, hell yeah.
Soft Scars quickly has maybe grown to be one of my favorite albums of all time, but I can recognize that it's distinctly a me thing because it is the distillation of Woman Who Is Bad For Me, but god damn it, I want it. The album. The rest of her songs are also the jokes aside, her songs really do have a lot of vulnerability to it, but it's not delivered in a really soft manner. It's delivered most hardcore grime era type of music.
Ow.
And that makes it really enjoyable for me to hear. The fact that every piece of music she has has a slant to where it's sonically interesting also, while being the encapsulation of hey you, stupid boy on the internet, you want to be stupid together? And what can I say, I'm a sucker for that.
Understandable.
Yeah, she's coming up likely with the new album this year, and I'm very excited for that.
Ooh, cool. I'll be sure to give it a listen.
Oh.
Yeah, and as for me, other honorable mentions, which are less honorable mentions and more like weird shit that I listen to, and I think they need a bit of a shout out. I'm gonna say 3 quick albums in quick successions. First, it will be The G Code by Peeling Flesh, which is a combination of slam death metal and Memphis rap of all fucking things, and it sounds really good. It's got the fucking oil drum snare, it's got the fucking pig squeal vocals, but then in the middle of it there's a fucking 3-6 Mafia sample in the middle. And you're like, what the fuck is this? And then at the end I'm like, yeah, this fucks. Shout out to also Carton Wild, famous TikTok blew up their song, I think either Fear of God or Siege Tower. And there's both versions of those in here. It's called Irguid Bleed. It's Welsh. It's a magical concept thing, but it's just folk black metal. Well, it used to be more black metal than folk metal, but now it's more folk power about wizards and knights and dragons and shit. I don't know, it's cheesy, but it's a heartwarming kind of cheesy in a way. You can definitely feel that it's a one-man band act, just one guy doing everything, and it definitely shows that he's kind of stretching his thing, but it gives him a certain je ne sais quoi. And also, finally, I'm going to recommend something in Spanish. It's going to be Cosa Nuestra by Raúl Alejandro, famous reggaeton singer, but also, I will also count him a multi-genre performer because there's also a lot of electronic and synthwave influences in his work. Specifically, I don't remember specifically which one's about Cosa Nuestra because the album is a fucking hour long and it's a bit of a trek to get through. But I do like the experimentation in his sounds. There's salsa influences, there's electronic influence, there's straight up reggaeton. I really like it. So I think we can safely move on to our top ones. Sure. Vesper is gonna hit up first with an album that we all listen to. All of us listen to it.
Sure. Okay, I know there has been a theme of very depressive, sad, introspective, and a certain dark vibe to all of the music that I have listed so far. And that is mostly a reflection of how that last year went for me. However, man, being fun is like being alive is just fun as fuck sometimes. And that is Imaginal Disc by Magdalena Bay. Genres are like neo psychedelia, synth pop, prog pop, and just so many variations of prog. Which, yeah, I know, a bit of a swerve given the previous albums that I've listed, and but like, I don't know. There's just something about a piece of music that can remind you that you just want to move and groove and just enjoy the moment. And like, not to say this album is like all bubblegums and rainbows, though it sounds like that all the time. There's a hefty amount of lyrical content that you can dig into in regards to like our place in the world, the time we spent in it, what that means, and how we don't value it as much as we should. You know, the fact that one of the tracks is literally called Killing Time makes that very abundantly clear. And I could get into some long-winded spiel about this album, and trust me, I really want to. However, I'll just say this. I've listened to this album from front to back like maybe like 15 times, 20 times. Like, is it perfect? No. Like, I don't like the interlude. And that's practically the only negative thing I can say about it. Oh, well, I guess Killing Time, the start of it doesn't entirely intrigue me. But is it some of the best examples of how music can make your day better? Yes. And that's why it's my number 1 album of the year. It's a reprieve from all the bullshit that can come your way, and a reminder that there's good things to look forward to at every corner. So if you like sugar, spice, and everything nice with a little bit of that chemical X that makes things truly special, give this a shot. My recommendation for this is all of them. Yes, all of the tracks.
Wow.
But if I had to pick 3, it'd be Death and Romance, Tunnel Vision, and That's My Floor.
Understandable.
Yes, I know that both of you listen to this as well.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, well, I really do, actually. The only reason that I didn't put this on my top 5 or 4 was because Vesper insisted this is my number 1 album of the year. I fucking love Imaginal Disc. I fucking love Magdalena Bay, and we had to give it to him. So yeah,
but it wasn't that big of a struggle.
Yeah, true. It wasn't that big of a struggle. He was like, okay, fine, you can have it.
Yeah.
You go first, Neto.
I will want to say real quick, I found out about Magdalena Bay from seeing them open. Now they're fucking like on late night talk shows performing. Like,
they're on the Jimmies.
Yeah, they're on the Jimmies. And it's wild. They opened a couple of years ago for George Clannon. And that's how I found out about them. I listened to their album Mercurial World, and fucking I just kept listening to it over and over. And this just tops that. Fucking, it's so good.
If like poppy perfection was distilled into an album, it would be called Vespertine. But this is close enough.
Wow!
Wow! I need to shout out my namesake.
Okay, I understand. Makes sense. And now, I also have listened to Imaginal Disc quite a lot, actually. And I do agree, it is really good. I will not say top 1 for me, but I do listen to it quite a while. I agree with Vesper. It is fun. It is very hopeful. You know, it fills me. It sparks joy. It produces joy. It does not make me. I don't know. It's nice. It's nice. And at the end of the day, isn't that all it needs to be? It's nice. It's hopeful. It's enjoyable. It's really good. Especially if you like pop.
The funny thing is, like, I mentioned this to Docker a while back, where when the first listen I gave to this album, I was like, I mean, it's good. It's more.
Yeah, it's a grower. I also was similar to that when I was like, I don't know, everybody keeps gassing it up. I'm gonna give it a listen reluctantly, and I was at the end of the first listen was like, It's okay. I like it, but it's okay. It's a perfectly serviceable album. And then at the end, I was just hitting it more and more and more, and it just fell in love with it. I think Netta was of the same opinion, because I remember asking her, "Hey, do you listen to the new Mike Lennon band?" And she was like, "Yeah, it's fine. I like Mercurial World more."
Yeah, and that's what's wild. It's like by the end of the year, I'm like, oh, maybe I like this a bit more than Mercurial
Out of curiosity,
World.
where would this have placed in your list?
For me, oh god, probably actually above Denzel Curry. Not at my number one, but above Denzel Curry.
So number 2?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah. For me, it would have been like 4 or 5 had we not agreed to not have any overlaps. It would have been 4 or 5, and it would have kicked off No Hands.
Well, that's fun to know. But yeah, you can continue on if there's nothing more to say.
Yeah, and I think we all said our piece about this one album. And speaking of albums that at least 2 of us are gonna say our piece about. Neto, what is your number 1 album of the year?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you immediately guessed it before we even started making the list. Okay.
Yeah!
It's Vanishing Act 2, Ultimate Reality by Clarence Clarity. God. Okay. I am a hardcore fan. Oh god, my voice is wanting to go out.
Understandable. Take a swig of water if you need to.
Of Clarence Clarity. I have been listening to him for like a couple of years now, and been just stuck, fixated on his music. Throughout 2019, when I first heard of him, I listened to his album No Now over and over and over and over and over and over again, and it just would not leave my mind. And so I've been waiting for quite a few years now for him to release another mainline album. And I'm glad that this year I finally got another one. It's his first one in 6 years, and what I can tell you about it is he streamlined his sound a bit, and for the betterment, I will say, of how his sound is. It's still highly experimental pop music, but it gets straight to the hooks more. Every song is just melodic, but also tinged with a strangeness about it. And that's what I love so much about what he does. He experiments with how pop music was in the early 2000s, late 90s, and also an R&B sound to it as well. And he just mixes all of these things with glitchy production choices, weird stabbing guitars at times, freaking all sorts of just little bits to throw you off, but still it somehow works together all too well, or so much well. Like if I were to sit here and go through some of the tracks, the freaking title track, it ends with a refrain sung in a very bombastic pop chorus way of the line being, What year is this? Jesus
fucking Christ! What year is this? I fucking love that song.
It's almost silly in a way, but it works. Other great tracks. Even after all that we have been through, is heavy on the beat. It is almost like modern hip hop and like trap styled in a way with the like how the beat sounds, but it still has soaring pop vocals over the top of it that are still just like a little bit off kilter in a way. My other main favorite tracks are The Greatest Living Musician Found Dead, that has such a like wonky, slightly off beat behind it, and yet it doesn't take away with from how catchy the sound is. Another great one that I always love when it comes on is Old King, The World Moved On, that sounds like it should have been an R&B song from like the like late 90s, early 2000s, that has glitchy synths in the background and God, I'm trying to like find words for exactly what I'm thinking of. It has this ending to it where everything stops and then suddenly comes back more menacing sounding, and it's so good every time I hear that part when the song when that beat drops back in. I fucking get chills. I get chills from it. It's so good. But yeah, I like Clarence Clarity a lot. He is like probably one of the biggest inspirations that I have for like making music nowadays. I wish I could make something as cool as he does. So yeah, there you go.
Very good. Very good. I asked you specifically. I remember you telling me there's a new Clarence Clarity album coming out. And the very next day when it was coming out, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a listen. And I put it on when I was on the way to work, and I was like blown away. It was really good because it was like super weird, yes, but the pop structures are still there, and it just not like normal. Oh, it's normal hyper pop that's based on like the late 90s and early 2000s, and sometimes the mid 2000s if you're lucky. There's actually like modern pop influence in this. I feel like specifically one song specifically Playing Our Parts, I think it actually has like some K-pop influences of how things. It feels very, performy. Like you see that I can imagine the boy band dancing, but it's also like still fucked up, still weird. I really like the sound of Clarence Clarity in this album. I even was familiar with some earlier of his work. Specifically, I'm trying to recall the name of the album. Specifically, Think Peace.
Yeah, Think Peace.
Think Peace. I remember Adam and the Evil. Like I heard it on YouTube back in the day, and I was like, this is pretty cool, but it was a little too abrasive for my taste at points, and I was like, it's cool, but I would not say it's one of my favorite artists. But now that there's now with Vanishing Act 2 Ultimate Reality, I can say, yeah, maybe he's definitely evolved.
And I will say one thing about you pointing to like the more modern pop sound at times. He's been working recently a lot with some like pop artists. Like he was the one of the main producers on Rina Sawayama's like debut album.
Oh.
He also has done remixes for Sia
Yeah,
and Charlie XCX.
I see a Sia remix on the Spotify page.
And Lady Gaga as well.
I've only listened to a small portion of this album. Wasn't necessarily my vibe. However, I can see for the people who do enjoy it that it is something special. Like even if it's not something that like is for you, I think anybody with ears can discern that there is something about this album that's like well beyond the norm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit weird.
No, it's okay. We're all a little bit weird here.
Neto, you do recall what my number 2 pick was?
True.
So I don't think you can get any worse than Vesper's number 2 pick.
It's covered. It's like
internal.
It's internal trauma personified into self-cest. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit weird than whatever the fuck is going on in Vanishing Act 2 Ultimate Reality.
Yeah.
But alas.
There's a God of War and League of Legends sample on the same track.
Wait, what?
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
And I thought fucking JPEG Mafia sampling Fortnite was weird.
Oh my god.
Yeah, what's yours?
Right. So let's move on to my album of the year. The absolute masterpiece that I would say came out in the year of 2024. And I think anybody that's followed me on social media all along this year or that has watched my streams has heard me gassing up this album because it is something special to me. But let me put it on screen first. I don't want to keep you up with the suspense. This is visual. Oh, kill the blossoming of psychotic depravity by Sidon. So you might be asking, do you remember? So for Imaginal Disc, Vesper's number 1 pick, we all talked about it. For Vanishing Act 2 Ultimate Reality, me and Neta talked about it. And this album I think I'm gonna be alone in the yapping. Why? Because I think this is something that neither of you will be checking out without me like giving you the push. And if I had not found about it just by like reading reading a metal blog that I follow just to catch up on any metal releases that may slip through my cracks, because I like to keep up with almost every genre, I thought about this album. I saw the cover and I was like, oh, what's this? Why is it so Japanese inspired? And I was immediately reminded of Kodama by Alcest. So I gave one of the tracks a listen, the one that has a music video. It's called Desecration of a Lustful Illusion. And I was first hit by nothing more than the familiar sound of an old-timey modem connecting to the internet. You all remember that horrible noise that we went through as kids? And then you get hit with black metal. But not just any sort of black metal. It is of a more melodic sort. Of a more... how would I say it? Of a more less of a tremolo riffs and all that. Not that there aren't any, but there is a clear melody line. That melody line is influenced by none other than like J-rock of all things. And I'm gonna make, if the title, the name Visual Kill did not make it clear, this is basically the epitome of the marriage between black metal and visual kei, which is, you know, which you might think is surprising, but it is not, considering visual kei and black metal can both kind of trace their origins to glam metal of all things. And you might, if I point it out to you, it makes sense. They are all focused on the performance side of it, on the theatrics, but they went out in different ways. Black metal went into the more shock rock angle, but like it doubled up to 11 with the fucking satanic references and all of that the genre eventually picked up. And focused less on the melodies and more on the shock. And Visual Kei went more for the theatricality of it, the elaborate outfits, but it still kept the melody. And of course there was always melodic black metal, you know, stuff like Dissection and all of that. And you know me, I love me a good old blend of black metal and all genre. I think Liturgia by Batushka is one of my favorite albums. Alcest is one of my favorite bands. They mix shoegaze and black metal. Also shout out to Dev Heaven for mixing the same thing in Sunbather, one of my favorite albums of all time. And yeah, this is a marriage of of black metal and an unusual genre. And believe it or not, it's also a sort of a concept album / rock opera thing, tinged specifically in the. I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with this sort of genre, but it is the early Heisei internet anxiety, you know, that Serial Experiments Lane shit about when like the internet was first becoming a thing in Japan and nobody quite knew what the fuck was going on, but everybody was like, oh, it's almost the turn of the millennium, what the fuck is going on, what do we do? But it doesn't really reflect in the sound. It comes more in the themes, again as exemplified by the second track, opening with the sound of a modem booting up. And this is a theme that permeates through the entire album. Basically, like, distilled of it, it's a story of like a girl being killed in a snuff film for the internet and her spirit coming back for revenge. Yeah, there is a lot of J-horror influences. You can basically see this as like sort of more internet-based The Ring or something. But the story is not very clearly told. It is more the lyrics as unintelligible as they are because it's black metal. Lyrics are inherently unintelligible, but they're available on the Bandcamp page. They're heavily poetic, you know. They paint more of an image than a straight up storyline. And you can kind of piece that together by going through every track and listening to it. Because yes, there is a story being told in here. Just mostly painted by images. Again, it is a very visual kill. It brings us back to the title. It's all connected. So throughout the 8 tracks, it's a beautiful and slightly grotesque menagerie of fucking early Heisei internet anxiety, with the most obviously traditional black metal influences, but yes, a lot of melody, a lot of anime style riffs. If you listen to, I don't know, if you listen to X Japan, if you listen to Tokyo Yankees, Violet Gay, and all stuff like that. But again, with the more of a body, I don't know how else to describe it, man. I think I'm running out of imagery to call upon. If I had to recommend any track of this, it will be all of them. Yes, including the interlude Seraphic Lullaby and the end song called Suffer, which are just like acoustic instrumental interludes, but they still add onto the vibe, onto the mood, you can feel the J-horror storyline seep through the fucking lyrics. As poetic and unclear as they are, you can feel that there is something being told here, and this is the cohesive storyline told through this collection of images that I think is beautiful. That's about it. My only caution will be like if you're not familiar with standard black metal lo-fi production, it's gonna be a little bit of a harsh listen, but if you can get past all of that, you can get past that if you can get used to the low quality of the production, you will find a very beautiful album in this one. That's about it.
That's honestly, I didn't know the story behind all of that, so it was really interesting.
It's very obscurely told. You actually have to go to the lyrics. It's not just through reading them because they're like they're formatted like as a run-on sentence on the Bandcamp side. You have to listen to it to really feel how they're like hitting through.
I might give it a shot. Though, like straight up black metal's never been my thing.
Yeah, no, I think I put you onto Batushka, and I think you told me you really liked it, but it's because of the combination with the what's the word, with the traditional Orthodox church music, not because of the black metal elements.
Yeah, the vocally speaking, I didn't find it unappealing. That's my issue with black metal, and I'm not a big fan of the growling vocals.
Yeah,
by themselves.
Yeah, I get it. But again, this album is a lot more melodic than the standard black metal, like Burzum, like Mayhem, like all of that. There's a lot of melody lines in this that are specifically very anime, very Japanese. Specifically in the title track, there is one final solo that I would say, oh, this is fucking Galnerio seeping through. This is fucking ex-Japan.
Yeah. Oh, the fact that they're not like the Nazis is a good thing.
True, also that. They're like two weeaboos from Tennessee that just decided, let's make Visual K style black metal.
Yeehaw, brother.
Yeehaw. I love this album. It surprised me because it seems like it's coming out of nowhere. I didn't even know about Sidem before. I was just like, oh cool, this album has like a Japanese schoolgirl being held by two skeletal hands. Let's check it out. And then suddenly my entire life has changed from now on.
I'm glad that you had that album for you, buddy.
Yeah. And I guess that's the common theme for all of us in our albums of the year, the love that we feel for them.
And I don't see the point in listening to music unless it makes you feel something,
Exactly. This made me feel, despite the grotesqueness of the subject matter, because it's obviously, it's a girl getting killed and then coming back as a ghost to fucking kill her abuser's back. It's still beautiful. I think a member of, I don't remember exactly who said that black metal is about making something beautiful out of the grotesque, and I think this album is the epitome of it.
Yeah, that's a good way to honestly describe it.
Yeah, I really like this album. It's not for everyone, but if you can appreciate good musicianship and you can appreciate good visual storytelling, not just a story being told to you by lyrics or like in a show tune kind of way, but like every song, every piece painting a DVD mesh, you can appreciate. You can find something in here. That's about it. Whew. I'm gonna need some water after that because my throat be hurting after all the yapping. That's the end of our albums of the year thing. Anything you're excited for this year?
Oh God, yeah, the new Frank Ocean album that's totally gonna come out, right?
Oh yeah, that's definitely gonna happen.
I did mention the Yule album that likely might come out. The FK Twigs album, because I love Twigs. She makes me feel emotions in ways that honestly make me uncomfortable, in the sense that, oh my god, I am blushing. Please stop. What else? Trying to see. I'm looking through a list.
I have one. The only album that I've heard coming out that by a band that I know, Clipping is releasing a new album.
Hell yeah!
Oh yeah, a new Clipping album. We gotta listen to that.
I love Clipping.
Yeah. Forget what it's gonna be called, but yeah, clipping it. I've been loving their shit for a while now.
Yeah, I love their horrorcore blend of stuff, so I'm curious to see what the newer stuff is gonna be.
Dead Channel Sky is the next album by them.
I see.
Has anything else come out this beginning of this first half of the first month that you would think, hey, this is pretty good? It might not make it to the end of the year, but you will still say, for now, it's a strong contender.
I haven't listened to anything from this year yet, I think.
Wow.
Oh, I listened to the SZA stuff. I like that. I don't think it's gonna make it to the end of the year though. It's usually the year of music where like it's usually like the point of the year where it's like people aren't gonna release.
Yeah. Yeah, but surprisingly, I already have something.
Oh, what is it?
Oh, this is a new album by Bad Bunny, the Debí Tirar Más Fotos one.
Oh,
Believe it or not.
I heard good things about that.
It's really good. I don't know if you'll understand it, but maybe you will, because it's like... it's not quite exactly the universal brown people experience, but it is really... it's definitely the very heavy Latino album. You can hear it from the first track. It samples like an old Puerto Rican salsa group, and then it suddenly shifts into like a dembow track. And then throughout the album, there's a constant theme of the love for Puerto Rico that Bad Bunny has. I really like it a lot, but I feel like it's an inverse bell curve. You know, the beginning is strong and the end is strong, but the middle, I just kind of I don't know about that. I gotta listen to it a little bit more to see how well it holds up, and at the end of the year again. And we also have to see what else is coming out. I mean, you know, there's clipping that's coming out. Kendrick Lamar may put out another album.
Mayhaps indeed.
And as you said, you know, who knows? Maybe Frank Ocean will come out with his new album.
I was lying, but you know.
I mean, anything can happen.
Yeah, anything can happen, you know? Maybe Jesus will come back down.
Exactly, maybe Jesus will come back down, and maybe Respawn would like to make it a Titanfall 3, and maybe Half-Life 3 will come out as well.
Maybe Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 will come out and actually be good.
No, okay, even that one is going too far.
Well, that's going too far?
It's the Chinese room.
What, you have no hope for Fire with a P?
I don't have no hope for the Chinese room. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry too.
I'm still... the mention of Half-Life 3 still makes me die a little inside.
It's more likely than you think is the
but less than you hope.
Yeah.
Because like Valve has been gearing towards like, hey guys, we might have more coming in like the Half-Life. Like,
yeah, that's right. We have more coming than Half-Life. We're gonna have a crossover items in Deadlock.
I made this prediction like a decade ago where I was like, with like Valve's persistence that we want Half-Life to like push forward video games as a medium, I think it's gonna be a VR title.
I mean, was it already not?
What, Half-Life 3?
Yeah, I mean Alex.
Yeah, but Alex was just a side story. I think like Half-Life 3 proper is gonna be like a VR title.
Could be.
Makes
anyway,
me die a little even more inside.
Not a fan of VR?
No, I can't afford VR.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Snapchat, like if Half-Life 3 comes out, you're legally obligated to buy a VR headset.
I mean, if Half-Life 3 comes out, I think that's gonna be the push towards VR that the people want. The people that bought a VR headset want.
I have bills to pay though.
Yeah, but that's why you get your chat to pay and be like.
Yeah, that's why you put it on your throne, and then you're like, "Hey, chat, you wanna buy me something, right? You can buy me VR headset. Then I can hop on VR chat and then I don't know. And Twitter. I don't know. I always make funny foreigners when I'm like mocking voices.
Nero, give us your best Russian.
Fuck. Das Vidanya. I am Russian now. Hear me speak like Russian man.
Good enough.
Works.
But yeah, that's the list. Wow, we made it.
We made it through. It only took us 3 hours, and 2 of those were, and one of those was just us gushing about our albums of the year.
I shockingly, I think me talking about number 1 was the shortest portion out of all of mine, because I was just like, you know what, man, fuck it, just listen to the goddamn album. It's really good.
I had to yap
Also,
about mine.
Yes.
Real quick, Dokuro was in there talking about opening my skull and removing the TikTok parasite. Well, the US government has done it for me. TikTok is dead.
Oh.
Well, in the US, long live.
Yeah. It's offline. I can't. I opened the app and it said goodbye.
Wow, so soon.
Yeah, here I got a screenshot.
Yeah, it would be really funny if there was a very easy way to still access it while being on US oil still. Not saying that you can or should, of course, but it'd be very funny if there was still a really easy way to do it.
Yeah, it'd be very funny.
But yeah. So y'all want to get on Red Note?
Well, no, you have to call it by its proper name. You have to call it Xiao Hong Shu.
Jia Hangshu.
Okay, but if I call it Red Note, I can make the joke of like, is this what I write my landlord's name on? It took you a while to get it, huh? It took you a while to get it.
Hell yeah. Based.
I'm glad someone understood that joke.
I'm still gonna call it Xiao Hong Shu. Anyway, the sad thing about this is that it's probably gonna kill our TikTok chat streak, Nero.
Yep.
Sad. I'm gonna miss you sending me shit posts.
Yep. Unless I can see if I can actually buy the house or not. Possibly, maybe.
Maybe, but not really. You know, you would never break the law on stream on the internet, right?
You wouldn't commit crimes on the internet.gov, would you?
Somebody queue up the.
You wouldn't like download a car?
No, the Let me speak to the people, Piccolo. Let me speak.
30.
No one's stopping you.
30.
I'm not a big fan of the government.
30. Yeah, we're not big fans of the government in here. Anyway, we should probably write out to somebody. Any suggestions, Vesper? Or you want me to call the shots?
You know what? I don't really have anybody that I think would be a great pick right now. So you can call the shot.
I'm gonna call the shots.
Unless, you know what, we'll go to hell still and go to a succubus vampire, if you wish.
It will be funny, but let me see who I have alive that we could rate out to. Oh, I have a friend that we could rate out to. He's doing Jonathan. We can rate out to Adrian.
Oh, Adrian's streamer, okay.
Yeah, he's doing a Jonathan for charity.
Oh yeah, no, then let's definitely go there. Let's see. Where's the raid button?
There's the raid button. Nice opinions. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. We formed them ourselves. And
yeah, exactly. We actually formed them ourselves. We didn't listen to anybody else.
Yeah, no bald man with like glasses and flannels.
See, you know, it's our own opinion because none of us put Brad in the top 5. Again, it's good, but it's a good album, but it's just not our album, you know.
It's it's whatever. Honestly, it's got some really fun songs, but that's about it.
It's got some fun songs. I like Von Dodge. I like the 360 is still stuck in my head. You may have heard me sing on stream every now and then where I'm like, Chick 66 with a princess trick. I'm everywhere. I'm so Julia. But that's it's.
I like Talk.
I don't think any song is particularly bad, but I don't think they're standout tracks either.
Oh, okay. I'm starting the raid, but also a little heads up. Tomorrow I will be playing Dale and Dawson's with a bunch of other of my VTuber friends, so please come on by if you have enjoyed anything that I have said so far.
Yeah, and tomorrow
please tell me when my mic is fucking up. My God, I don't.
And tomorrow I'm gonna be playing on a TTRPG. Bye everybody. Say hi to Adrian. He's also playing with us. Goodbye.